Ram, would you be able to help me with a quick room reset, please?
Sure, mate. Happy to. All right. So, everyone, you are in the How to Run a Successful Business room. If you have just joined, or if you have a party popper, welcome. This is a safe space, no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you are in your business journey. So, if you want to follow the club as well, you are in the What It Takes to Run $1 Million Club. Just hit the green icon there, the little Monopoly house. And definitely hit the bell icon on that house, just so you can get notified on the rooms that are held here. You've got amazing panel. Definitely have a scout around and tap people's profiles and follow the people, moderators or not, that you feel that you are value aligned with. And that are within your industry, because this is by far the greatest app to build not just your network, but to build different communities, and to really get access to knowledge and people that we're not easily able to get. I've met more people in the last 4 months than I have, honestly, in the last 4 years. Not even kidding. It's been an amazing journey. So I would say that it's also important to follow people, because it curates your hallway, as we call it, right? So if you're following people, whether it's everyone here on stage or others, it's going to curate the content that you're going to see. So on that note, welcome again, and please raise your hand if you have a question. This is what we're here for, here to learn, here to contribute. Over to you, Nathan.
Thanks so much, Ram. And just a quick reminder to anyone, we're happy to take any questions as people come up, but we do ask one thing, and that is that you fill out some information in your bios. So we've seen a lot of people raising their hands with completely blank bios today. Unfortunately, we can't answer your question, but all it takes is about 30 seconds to a minute to put a little bit of information into your bio, and then we're more than happy to have you up on stage. So just do a quick pull to refresh. And I can see that Helen, you've been waiting really patiently. What was your question today for the panel, Helen?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Helen from London. Yeah, I just wanted to find out. I have two questions anyway, if that's okay, but I will ask the first one first. My question is I'm just about to launch my first book, so I don't really know how to go about launching. If anybody has ideas, those who have written books, what to do first. It's coming out soon, but I don't even have email list. I don't have any of that. So, and I'm a self-publisher.
Okay, so your question is how to book Relentless. Can I get a mic flash? Are you here at all? All right, our resident publisher is not in the house. Any of the other mods, Ram? Yeah, go for it, please.
Thanks, Nathan. All right, so I mean, I've written 2 books and have self-published both of them to some great success. Helen, you are going down the self-publishing route, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you already finished the manuscript?
Yes.
And have you created any landing page that can begin to capture expressions of interest?
That I don't really understand that question, but I did something on Amazon. Then we're not on that platform that I'm about to do today.
Yep, Amazon Associates, the self-publishing platform.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. You need to market your book. The short answer to this is you've got to make sure that the activities that you do to market are also external to Amazon. Amazon is where they're going to buy. It's not necessarily where you're going to get interest or attraction to that page, because you can only imagine how many thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, who are doing exactly what you're doing. So can I just ask real quick, what's the book about? What's the topic or genre?
It's not a general, but it's more for families. It's a personal, it's a life story.
What's the book called? So it's just it's your biography, is it? That type of thing?
Not fully part of it.
Okay. What's the book title? Have you got that? A working title?
It's Breaking the Nest.
Breaking the Nest. Okay. So here's the thing. Most books most books that don't have an established audience from the author won't sell. So the question is, how are you going to sell it? Before you put it up on Amazon, I'm assuming it's not up yet. Is it up yet?
No.
Okay. Try this tactic. Create an online launch team. This is what I did. It worked really well for my first book, and then I did it again for my second book. You say you don't have an audience, but you do have family and friends. Those family and friends also have family and friends. What you want to do is you want to create a squad, basically. All right. You want to make sure that you've got some social media content. I can send you a link to mine and what that looks like. Basically, pre-written captions, tweets, images, anything that can help promote the book. On the launch team, you will have incentivization, such as get a free copy of my book. It's no different really to an influencer marketing campaign. Okay. You want to create a bit of a buzz. You don't have an audience, but you have people around you that might have an audience or will know someone that does. In short, you want to build a team, a network of people that can help you launch this thing. Okay, that's the short answer. If you don't have the audience, who has the audience of your audience? You with me?
Yes.
Okay, so Helen, your main task for the next month is to get as many other aligned people, start with friends and family, and build a launch plan. On week 1, here's my crew is going to send out this type of message. On week 2, here's what you guys are going to do next. This is just the quickest way to do it. Okay. You need to work with people who can influence your ideal reader. Right now, it's up to you how much money you want to put on this. But if you did have some capital that you wanted to spend, then you can also incentivize through that way or use Facebook ads or Instagram ads. But I don't want to overcomplicate this. Find people who have your audience, collaborate with others, and basically make it easy for them to share. And the only way to share is if they love your story so much that they just do it out of the goodness of their heart. Find a few of those people at first and then work from there. All right, this is Ram. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go to your Instagram later and just see if I can get, you said if you can send me a link of how you do the procedure you did your first launch, if that's fine. Thank you.
I can say it now. You go to gettingamentor.com and then gettingamentor.com. That was my second book. Go to gettingamentor.com. At the top there, you will see share and you will see pre-written shareable content. Do something like that and then send everyone to that type of page and say, hey, I'm going to launch on this day. Help me share. Here are some ready to go assets, images, tweets, captions, post it on Facebook, LinkedIn. It'd be a great help. In exchange, I'll give you a copy of my book for free. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Helen, this is Doug here. I'm literally just launching my book now. And one of the things I'd really recommend as well is if you know anybody who has a podcast or radio show or anything like that, go out there and try and get on their radio show to advertise your book as well, doing a pre-launch as well. And also, if you know anybody, exactly what Ram was saying, in terms of if you know anyone in your network that has a big network, and you're good friends with them, maybe ask them to be one of the testimonies on the book and give them obviously a free copy of the manuscript beforehand. Let them have a little read and then ask them to be a testimony. So, for example, the Navy, then I got one of the Dragon's Den as a shark tank over in Dublin. If at all you can get as a testimony who obviously once the book is about to be launched, they will obviously help you in terms of getting the book out there to as many people of their network as well. That might really help you as well. But radio shows and especially podcasts can help you. So exactly what Ram said, which is perfect. And then try and maybe get on as many podcasts as possible, advertising, and hopefully when they advertise, you can link in them and link in everybody you know to the radio show that might have a network to get that out there as well. I'm Doug. I'm finished speaking.
Hey, Doug,
Sure.
this is
Thank you so much.
Wait,
so
guys, one at a time. Sorry, if you could mute. Sorry, who was first?
Nathan, I just wanted to add one quick thing, and this is very important because so many of us want to write books, right? And I'm certainly one of them too, and considering my third book in the future. But here is the thing. Please understand that this is the reality of it. There is a massive brand play here, Helen. What I mean by that is when you are writing your first book, there is equity in the brand that you're building, not necessarily that this is going to make you profit. And not to say or suggest that that's even the motivator. Either way, it's okay if it is. We all want to make money from the stuff that we do. But all I'm saying is, Helen, you got to look at the long-term play on this. Is this the entry point to getting to know Helen? Because you might find that this is a wonderful discovery, acquisition entry point to your business. You got to think of this as an ecosystem. And I want people to actually understand that writing a book is a huge brand play. It positions you as an expert to some degree in a particular area. That's the real equity there, Helen. So and I don't want you to think, oh wow, I launched and I did all the things that you guys said, and a year from now I only sold 50 copies. In fact, you'd be lucky to sell 50 copies. This is just the honest truth. But what you're able to do is that you're a self-published author. You've documented your story. You've left a legacy for your family, and this is one of maybe the first 5 books that you're going to write in your life. I don't know. All I'm saying is don't stop at one book, because I want you to think about this as a long-term brand play, bigger than the money that you might get. But I do wish you all the greatest success. This is Ram.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Ram.
Oh no, there's still more to come. Relentless, are you still there, my friend?
Hey, Helen, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Nice to meet you. I love your images on your IG. It says a lot. You're really focused on women. It's awesome. I'm known as the book whisperer because I've written dozens of books and been applauded globally for the same. And I'm gonna tell you somewhat what everyone's saying. Your books are a business card to get you in the door, to get you to these next levels that you want. But I wanted also I'm saying I see you as an ambassador behind your initiative, and I'm wondering, do you have a podcast going?
Actually, Annabella actually told me to start that. I'm working on that, just gathering myself together to start that. Yes.
Okay, it's not as complex as it seems, and a lot of times you can overthink things. You get an intro and an outro, somebody that can do a voiceover for you, and you begin to have these conversations. Like right now, we're having a conversation. In theory, we're not recording it. I mean, we're recording it in our minds, but it's all good content. And so these conversations that you're going to have about your initiatives, right? About all the different things that you're concerned with regarding women. These are daily conversations women are having already. So what you want to do is package that in a podcast where you're doing it consistently, maybe once a week or twice a week, or you can junket a number of interviews during a time block. So let's say you're gonna do them on like a Wednesday after work, where you have people set up, you have a list of people, and you have them set up to do say 30-minute interviews with you, and so you block out 2 hours to do these interviews. You're gonna run over. I'll tell you that because people get passionate about what they're talking about. But this is a way for you to collect and curate the content that you need to really to bring it home. Meaning, like, you know, go see Helen, or go listen to Helen, or go connect with Helen regarding these issues. This issue or these issues. So I just wanted to say, definitely be the ambassador behind your initiatives. A book is just another sort of device to bring people your way, as as the brand leader or as the ambassador. And then, of course, a lot of the issues you're talking about are very personal, right, and private. And so audio is the best place for that, because a lot of times, women may not want to be seen to speak about these things, some of the important things that you're talking about. So there's that. And then, of course, you have video beyond that. But in all, I'm going to leave you with saying, like, when you're spreading a brand or you're building a brand, you have to cover all the senses, or as many as you can. So that's why we talk video. That's why we talk audio. That's why there's Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook, because you want to get the audio out, the video. And if you're able to do video, you can actually knock out 3 or 4 pieces from the video. Like, video gives you the audio, it gives you the video, it gives you the written. If you go ahead and transcribe what's been said on video, and so that basically gives you your podcast from your video. And then, of course, you have your images, which is your still captures from the video. So hopefully I've helped. I'm relentless.
Thank you so much. That's really wonderful. I've been like doing videos on Facebook Live. I've been running Facebook Live up to last month. The whole of May, I took holiday. I do 3 days a week. But the podcasting, I just couldn't get around it. But
But
now,
you
great
already have a lot
ideas.
of content. You already have a lot of content. All you need to do is get someone to strip those videos down and curate the audio from the videos, because you have a lot of shares inside of those videos. And so you've done a lot of the work already. That's what you're telling me. So you just basically they're going to take the audio from your video clips, and they're going to package them into a podcast, with an intro, an outro, and maybe a sponsorship. You got a lot of content already. And of course, don't forget, transcribe a lot of what's been said into something like a newsletter or some sort of ebook or e-guide, like, depending on what your subject matter you're talking about. You can transcribe some of the content from your videos. You can have a transcriber from Fiverr, or there's also apps that do that. But transcribe that content, because that's all yours and it's all searchable at that point. So that when you do put a PDF file, like when you upload a PDF file to any of these platforms, like Issue or Scribd,
Sorry,
you
Relentless, I
upload.
don't mean to interrupt. We just that's been such great information.
Okay,
Thank you
okay.
so much. And Stacey, I saw you unmuted. Did you want to just real quickly add to that, please?
Yes, yes, yes. First of all, Ron, Relentless, Doug, so spot on. The only thing that I really wanted to add, and I was also going to say that this is a content play. I'm so glad that you are already building content. You definitely need to think of building your personal brand. So I believe it was Ron that said to get a landing page up. My vote would be, since you have the content, to get up an author website. Grab the URL for your name, Helen, and then again start populating your website with the content, the video, and I'm a big fan of PR. If you can get any media coverage, that would be amazing. But the last thing that I want to say is just make sure that your messaging and your personal brand really encapsulates, what is your superpower? Why should someone choose to, there's a lot of clutter out there. Why should someone choose to read your book? And I wish you the best of luck, Helen. Love what you're doing, and can't wait to see the end result. I'm Stacey, and I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, Helen, you've been given a lot of great information for some absolutely great people. Do you feel that that's been of benefit to you today?
Yes, that has been a very great tips from everyone. And I have second question, but I will leave it for next time, because I want to go ahead and digest this and write
Oh,
some things down.
absolutely. I can hear the enthusiasm and the energy in your voice. So we'll wish you the absolute best of luck. Please make sure you're writing down notes, because you've just got some great information there. For now, I'm just going to gently tuck you back down into the audience. And apologies for the mispronunciation, Yue. You've been waiting really patiently. What was your question today for the panel?
Yeah, thank you so much. And the name is Uwaye. So I just want to first of all say a big thank you to all of you. I think you're doing a great job. I like the way you really probe into people's businesses to find out more information and give them clarity. So I'm really enjoying that. And okay, so for me, I established myself as an educator in Nigeria, and for part time, I did business analysis. I helped mostly schools to build their processes, to build their policies, and just ensure that their processes were automated. So I also helped like a restaurant and a laundry to also put processes in place, their stock taking and all their recordings and things. So right now I've relocated to the UK for like 2 years now, and I want to establish myself as a business analyst here. And I've been to some job interviews, because I know I just don't want to start consulting for companies.
Sorry for interrupting. Thank you for all of that background. Is it possible that you could just say in one clear and concise sentence, starting with my question is, and if we need any additional info, we'll certainly ask you for that.
Okay, no problem. So my question is that I have recently located, well, not recently, like 2 years ago, I relocated to the UK, and I want to establish myself as a business consultant here. But because my experience is mostly in Nigeria, that won't be like an easy thing to do. So I'm trying to get a job so that I can have some kind of experience in that field first before I start to do my business consulting. But the thing is, again, it's for you to get a job, you need experience in the environment in that area. So it's kind of difficult. So my question now is very country specific. I don't know if anybody here knows like business analysts in the UK who I can shadow, or that can give me some insights as to how.
Sure. Let's just quickly ask the panel in regards to that one. So can I get a flash of the mic? I know, David, you're in the UK. Is this something that you're able to help with at all? Andra, is there anyone?
Hello. I'm here, Nathan. I'm here to help if I can. Hello. Nice to meet you. So when you were saying before, so you're looking to be, obviously, to get into the business coaching. Can you just give me an idea? What is it you've done so far? Because you were saying you're looking to gain experience. Have you not done anything so far? What is your experience?
Yeah, I've done some things, but not in the UK. So, like in Nigeria, I helped a laundry startup. I set up their records, their stock taking, the processes, the POS, the online POS they need to use, their reporting systems.
Okay.
I did this. Okay.
Sorry. But for actual business coaching, have you done anything on that, or is that what you want to pivot? Because you said you want to do business coaching, which it sounds like you've worked in a business and you've helped build that business. But have you done anything on the coaching side yet?
No, it's more like business analysis, finding problems and profiling solutions to their processes and their problems or their issues.
So what I would suggest to do, rather than looking necessarily at the business coaching side of that, you want to look at the actual pain points you fixed within that business, then go off and niche down into similar businesses that you've done that with before. So, for example, with the business that you helped before, you can actually go and find a list of those businesses in the UK near to where you are, or you can work remotely, and you can contact them and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. These are the pain points a lot of people face at the moment. Have you got similar pain points at the moment that you're working on? Now, that's a very crude way of doing it, just for the simple fact we're trying to keep things sort of a couple of minutes. But if you really work out a base strategy out there, and as you move forward, it gives you the ability to help with more pain points. Too many people now get caught up on a title. I'm guessing you know who Tony Robbins is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Tony Robbins didn't do the big thing he does now initially. Initially, years and years and years ago, He actually helped people give up smoking. That was where he started. And over years, he's added on all these other skill sets that were out there. With what I coach with now, not putting myself in the same category as Tony Robbins, but with what I coach now. So I was in sales for a huge amount of time. Then I started helping build teams. Then I started moving through. Then I had my own businesses. And at the end of that, I was at the ability where I use the business coach name, because I could go into most businesses to find results based around the sales, etc., etc. So where you're at the moment is great. It's good having that experience, but you've got very niched experience. So use that as a strength rather than a weakness, and actually create a top 100 list. Find 100 companies out there, their names, their details, where they're based, that are around the same size business that you helped previously. Then break down in precise pain points exactly how you helped them, where they were before you, where they were after you left, and then build a foundation and a structure on the steps that you took that through to make that unique to you. Then you can go off to these people and say, hey, this is what I did for other companies out there. Most companies have suffered the same. Do you suffer this? And if they say yes, great. You have a conversation and you build up some interest. Now you can work out based on the results that you can get them, what you should be charging them. But you can also quite simply, off the back of that, as a test pilot, set a beta program where you go out and you actually negotiate testimonials and even referrals off the back of this. This will give you a showcase then to go off to further businesses. You can use those referrals to go and get more business. But that's really where you want to be starting out at the moment, because you want to get yourself quick wins, quick victories, and pain points that you've got experience in helping. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. But I'm also looking at an opportunity to shadow somebody who is already doing it, so I don't just want to start doing things the way I've always done it. I want to be sure that I'm following the regulations here, and I'm charging the right fee. I'm doing, following the right processes. So I
Big
was
difficulty.
thinking,
Go on.
so I'm wondering how to find people to shadow,
Yue,
Yeah.
this is Yue. I'll introduce you to someone. She's the lead analyst at HSBC in London, under one condition, that you're going to promise me that if I introduce you, that you're going to work, right, Yuawe?
I cross my heart, hope to die if I
Yeah.
don't.
I just wouldn't introduce anyone to her. She's a good friend of mine, and I just was kind of just listening, wanted to hear what you were saying, but I can hear the sort of determination in your voice. So we're gonna do the intro on LinkedIn. So make sure that your
Thank you.
LinkedIn profile is as schmick and as presented and as complete as possible, and then I will introduce you personally to her. And if nothing else, you've made a new connection, and maybe she can point you in another direction, or maybe introduce you to other people. But I'm happy to do that for you.
Wow, can I shout? Best thing I've heard all year. Thank you. Thank you
May
so
I,
And
may
much.
I, may I add something to that, please?
Please
Yes,
do,
please.
Stacey.
Sure. First of all, good for you, what UA, and I want to echo on something that Ram said. Like, your LinkedIn can't just be good; it has to be great. And just some words of advice: looking at your Clubhouse profile, I would look. We all have to be masters of first impressions now, and put everything that is, for example, in our bios through the who cares test. So looking at your profile right now, I would take the child development educate, move it down. I would also put living in London way on top. Again, you really need to position yourself. A business analyst is someone that has a certain set of skills and adds value. So I would make that prominent and just be very careful. Get into your mindset's brain and figure out what is going to be your value to them, and then take care of your bio, your LinkedIn, and just make sure that it is not just good, but it's great, because it's going to make a first impression like within 10 seconds. I wish you the best of luck, Yue.
Thank you so much, Stacy. I really appreciate this. Thank you. Thank you, Rom. Thank you, Stacy. And thank you. One other person responding at the beginning. Sorry, I didn't get your name, but I'm so grateful. Thank you. I got really good feedback here and I'm empty. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, that's great to hear. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to gently tuck you back down to the audience, but don't forget to follow all the people that are giving you advice. Heck, follow everyone on stage if you feel that grateful. So, thank you so much for your question and best of luck to you. So, next up, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your name. If you wouldn't mind unmuting, and what's your question today for the panel? And if you could state your name so we can pronounce it.
Hello. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Anika.
Thank you. Anika, lovely to meet you.
Thank you. So actually, I'm an entrepreneur from India, and I have a zero waste cosmetic and skincare brand, which I've bootstrapped it in last during the pandemic, and we have an MVP ready. And my question for today is that I'm wanting to make my brand as a global brand, and I'm looking forward to start like FYOC stores, like fill your own container stores across the country and in a global level. So what is this? What is that something that I can do at this stage for making this happen?
Okay, so it's a cosmetic brand and you've just started and you want to go global. Srujan is flashing his mic.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it, Srujan.
Hey Anaga, this is Srujan. So,
Hi.
just a quick question. How good are you in your current market? How are your sales doing? How is your profit?
Okay, I'll tell you, like, we have just started in like 6 months, and in 6 months, I could get like a remarkable profit, and we have more than 51 distributors all across.
Understood.
Hmm.
So, which countries are you trying to enter?
Actually, I'm from India, so initially, I just want to establish properly within the country and then move it towards a global level.
Understood, because I thought I heard in your question that you want to do both of them simultaneously, which might not be the right way to go for it. So I would first focus on planting your roots in India and trying to cater the market and expand your market in India. So is it a B2B or a B2C?
It's a B2C. We have omni
Okay.
channels.
How are you currently selling your product? Is it through social media or is it through word of mouth? Is it a mix?
There is a website sales and there is retail sales that is through distributors. That is what currently happening.
So you said there's a website and there's also a retail aspect to it where it's a B2B.
No, it's not like we are selling it to the retail stores and they are directly selling to the customers. Like there are so many stores across the country which sells cosmetics and skincare products, and we are just selling it to them. And one of the key factors of
So,
my business is zero waste, and I want to like introduce this model to the whole world.
so if you're selling to the retailers, that is B2B, right?
Yes, in a way, it's a B2B.
Okay, understood. And what kind of a challenge are you facing with respect to, expanding your growth and the number of customers?
Sorry,
Sorry,
Did
we
you
can't
get the
hear you.
question?
Say that again.
I think I lost
Oh
you. I
yeah.
think Mr. Srujan,
Okay,
I think I
so
lost.
the question is, what are the current challenges that you're facing with respect to expansion?
The main challenge that we are facing right now is like allocation of funds. Because as I told you, like I'm planning to start FIOC stores, like fill your own container stores, where people can come, like they can directly take their containers, the initial containers that we gave in. Like all our containers are from bamboo and aluminum, which is like recyclable, and we have a recycling unit by ourselves. So I was planning to start our like FIUC stores across the country, country, so that this massive beauty, the waste that the beauty industry generates could be eliminated, and it can definitely achieve sustainability.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, you are trying to shift from the B2B sales to starting your own stores in India. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So, what is your challenge in that? Is it getting the investors? Are you short on cash, or is it the logistics, or what is it?
It's the investors. How I like, I'm not able to find the right. Maybe there are like, even if I could find, there are like people who wants me to do it in a mass scale and to produce goods in a
So Srujan, we're losing the
everything involved,
connection. I'm just going to
which
mute
I
this.
definitely.
Sorry, we're having a bit of trouble with the connection right now. So maybe you want to go to an area with a bit better mobile reception. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute you for now. But if you get better signal, we'll loop back around and try again. So just excuse me. Okay. So Andrew, you've been waiting really patiently. What was your question today for the panel?
Uh, hi everyone.
Hi, Andrew.
Uh,
What was your
yeah,
question today for the panel, please?
okay. It's me, Andrew from Nepal, and I'm into the education sector. I'm sending Nepalese student to abroad for their further study.
Andrew,
So
so what was your question? Sorry, would you mind to start with my question is just the question. If we need more info, we'll ask you, okay?
okay. My question is that and I'm in student to abroad for further study from Nepal. In this situation, what do you feel that is this business going to be a longer base, or do I need to think about other alternative business? I'm quite confused on this situation.
Okay, did anyone need clarification? Ram, did you catch that? I'm not sure
Not
if
at
his mic.
all. I can't catch that at all.
Okay, so
I couldn't
I wasn't
interpret
sure.
what was being said. If he could ask it again, please, with a bit more succinct specifics as well. Thank you.
Okay, let me repeat you. I'm from Nepal, and I'm working on education sector, and I'm helping those Nepalese students to going to abroad and for their further study, future study. So in this situation, this business going to be sustainable for the long term or not, because of this COVID? Almost 2 years we are closing our business. So I was thinking that to think about other alternative business, but I'm not sure. What do you suggest me? I'm just willing to know.
All right, Andrew. This is Ram. So you currently have a service that is helping students in Nepal, placing them in international studies,
Absolutely.
studies abroad. Okay, I hear you. So the question around, is this going to be a sustainable business? It really comes down to a few factors. How much does it cost for you to to place someone, right, to pair them with a university or an institution overseas? You're organizing them, you're helping them with their application, the prerequisites, all of those things. So you're putting in time and experience, expertise, and there's money involved there. How much are you charging these students versus how much it costs you to deliver that service?
Okay.
Because, yeah,
Currently we are not charging any amount to the student, because we used to have a agreement between university and with us, so
okay,
that university provide us some commission.
right. And do you have that now? Do you have those deals you to do this
Yeah,
service?
I do have, but in this situation, since almost 1.5 year, we are not sending any student to the abroad.
I hear you. All right. So you got to pivot. Um, the opportunity is still there. It just looks like virtual education is the expanding market. All right. So, Andrew, you've got to now flick your brain into how can I funnel students from Nepal into international education still, but the delivery is not the problem. It's how you're positioning this, because the need is still there. A student from Nepal would much rather be able to do a few modules, let's say even a 6 months worth of semester at Stanford, right? Or Brown or Charleston, like UCLA, to get that under their belt. It's still valuable for the student. So the question is, how are you now fitting in to the process? Because the need is still there. There's still organizations that are still, they've all just pivoted to virtual education. That shouldn't affect you helping universities overseas being the go-to contact for the Nepalese students. You've got to look for those lucrative partnerships. You've got to look at what is the competitive advantage for the Nepalese student. You've got to look at why would overseas universities intake Nepalese students. You might want to hero Nepal. You might want to hero what are the, is it, I don't know, the next tech, is it the next tech country or city? You know, you got to find the competitive advantage here. You've got to position. I think it's a brand. It's branding Nepal and positioning them as, here is the growth opportunities in the market of Nepal. Remember, you're not just delivering X amount of students to UCLA or Stanford or whatever. You're delivering the outcome by supporting Nepalese students. You are supporting a growing economy. You're supporting our greater economy for this region. You're supporting, you might want to hero other successful Nepalese students that have gone through this program or this partnership that you're able to facilitate. I don't know. There's a lot there. You gotta work through it. You gotta do some research. You gotta find where is the market opportunity. But there are a couple of thoughts to get you going. This is Ram. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Ram.
Thanks so much for sharing, Ram. Did any of the other moderators want to add? Callum, you're flashing. Go for it, mate.
Just to add to Ram, there are two drivers that are driving international students. One is obviously the need for education, and the second is immigration. The Australian market is an example. Australian market compared to Canada, US as a primary market. But if I use that as a proxy, immigration is a much bigger driver, and the immigration with border shutdown, with border lockdowns, and with more protectionist measures and anti-immigration right now, and there are many details which we can take it offline, that particular segment is significantly disrupted. And so if education is going to go online, which is the current trend, at least for the next 12 to 18 months, at least certainly if you look at markets like Australia, the immigration policies are not going to be in your favor. So there is a good chance that it's going to take a while before immigration policies catch up. Secondly, the second issue you have is we have invested into a company internationally that is also disrupting through technology that intermediaries that participate between international students and the universities. Historically, it's been traditional multi-tiered agencies and brokers, and technology is disintermediating it. So my suggestion, my 2 cents would be consider alternative scenarios so that you don't get disrupted by those other two drivers, in addition to what Ram talked about. This is Callum, the AI Venture VC, and I'm out.
Thank you. Thank you, Gavin.
Thanks, Callum. And thank you so much for coming up on stage. Andrew, I'm just going to I'm assuming that's been quite a lot of information. Do you feel that that's been of benefit to you?
Yep. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I'm just going to gently tuck you back down into the audience. And I just wanted to quickly check. And Naga, is your internet connection a bit more stable now?
Yes, I think so. I think it's stable now. Am I audible?
Yep, loud and clear. So, Srijan, did you want to finish off your conversation and then we'll wrap it up to move
Yes,
on to the next?
yes, definitely,
Yes.
definitely, definitely. So I think as I've already introduced my, I'll just jump into my question, which is how do I find the right investors who cares about the ethics and moral value that is associated with the brand and which
I'll
I'm not
stop
willing
you
to
right
change?
there if that's okay, because I want to get more insight into your thought process. Um, so basically, right now, India is in the midst of a pandemic, and the stores, the brick and mortar stores, are not opening anytime soon. So, what makes you think that it might be a good idea to open a brick and mortar store at this time?
Because I thought like looking into the businesses that were running even in the decades, like from the decades, something I've seen is that the major businesses have bloomed during the after just after the pandemic. And if I started it today, like in 2 years, it can just bring massive results. So like planning for like FYUC stores right now, and I'm implementing them in next 1 year, I think it will be great. And considering the current scenario, I think the country will be catching it up in like next 1 to 2 years when whole population gets vaccinated and stuff like that, because we get to see that from the whole world, and I'm hoping for the best.
Understood. Okay. So, just a quick question. Why don't you start with one single store in your hometown and test it out? Like, why do you want to open multiple stores across India at the same time? Because if you get in investors at an early stage, you could potentially lose on a big opportunity of, you might be undervalued at this point. But if you start your own store and show some successful results by bootstrapping, you might be in a better position to get in investors or even sell your company.
Yes, that is also very insightful. I've thought about it also, but right now I'm just focusing on like how can I just expand this network and how to build this brand initially, and later start the stores. That's why I was just intending that I'm aiming for starting to like the start the FIOC stores across India. And the thing with starting one store, I think it's a great idea. I think I'm definitely going with it.
I
Okay,
would
Wonderful.
like.
stop you right there.
Srijan, I'm
Okay,
just going
one
to cut you
second,
off there.
Nathan.
Nadia's just been flashing her mic continuously. So, what we're going to do, thank you so much. Nadia, you're up first.
Nathan,
Angela, I
is it
also
okay
saw
if
that
I
you were mic.
finish?
So, we'll
Or
go Nadia and then we'll go Angela, please.
Hi, Anna Good. This is Nadia, the media architect speaking. So I looked at your website, and I've advised many companies that were in a similar situation. And what I don't understand, you have a really great story. Why don't you use that story? You have not just a product, you have a very valuable, good story that is like a good news story. You need to be in the media. And with media, it starts when you say, oh, it will be tough for me to get in the media. Well, first of all, I don't believe that. I think because you really have a good story, it should not be too hard to get in. But it starts with social media. Why don't you have an Instagram? Why don't you have on your website testimonials from satisfied customers? Why don't you have some facts to underscore what you are doing visible on your website? The website is very plain, beautiful. You don't even make 20% out of it. You don't even leverage it to 20%. And so what I would like to see right away, and that will attract investors. I've seen it a gazillion times, so it's going to happen. You need to first connect your Clubhouse to an Instagram. I want to see your product. I want to see people talking about it. I want to see people that are happy customers talking about. I want to see you talking about it. I want you to do reels. I want you to be active on Instagram. And parallel, I want you to attack the media. I want you to approach magazines, blogs,
anything remotely that deals with beauty and sustainability and understands a great message and a great product when they see it. That will then give you a much better presentation when you go to any investor. In fact, investors might come to you. So that is something that you can do right away, cost you nothing. But that is what all the beauty brands do, and all the new brands. They go on social media and promote the hell out of it. And they have satisfied people talking about it, telling how it changed their skin, how it changed their lives. That's what I would like to see. Be more visible. Okay? With that, my name is Nadia. I'm done speaking.
Thanks,
Okay, okay.
Nadia.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm definitely doing it right away.
And Angela, if you wanted to wrap it up, go for it.
Thank you so much. Yes, hi, Anaga. Yeah, I went to your website immediately. Thank you. I went to your website immediately, and I have to be honest. You have like two items on there that seem very random. You have like a razor and a serum, and
Yes,
that's it.
yes.
And let me finish, honey. You can mute yourself, and then you can speak. If you can mute yourself. Thank you. Yeah, and then they're two random items and they're marked down. The prices are slashed, and that's the extent of the brand. And the thing is that you can drive all the traffic you want, but if your brand isn't, if you don't have, what is your unique selling proposition? What problem are you solving? What are these items? You see the bamboo razor and then a serum that are somewhat unrelated items. I don't really get the essence of what is your brand. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they have ideas and they kind of put out random products, but they're not really understanding on what it takes to develop and build a brand. Because right now, if get press, or you get you're driving traffic, you're driving traffic to a home that is in disarray, basically. So I think that it's more about really what is I don't see, if you want to open multiple stores, there's gonna be like a razor and a serum. Like, I don't get it. I'm just not really clear on. And the thing is, if you want to build out other items and things like that, that's fine. But I feel like you need to have a brand, and you need to have products that solve problems, and people that are using them, to Nadia's point, and testimonials and things like that. I just think you need to work on the branding before you look to try to get stores and this and that, and work on on the items, on what your brand. And it's fine, somebody can have like one brand. They can have like a razor, but it has to be like the best bamboo razor in the world. Like, people do make it big selling like an item, but there's a lot of intentional. I would just urge you to really look at your product offerings, and also possibly your the even the packaging as well, like your typefaces. Like, the typefaces don't really seem in line with this eco-friendly, sustainable. Like, it just I'm just the actual the graphic design, I feel like, doesn't relate to the product. I just think there's a lot of work that you need to do internally before you start to try to distribute this out to the world, because I think the foundation has cracks in it right now. So that would be my insight on that. But I do wish you the best of luck, and it's good that you're here and you're asking questions and getting feedback, and you can take what you like and leave the rest. But at least you're getting some other perspectives and eyeballs on your brand. So I wish you the best of luck. Thank you. This is Angela. I'm done speaking.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your insights. I'm definitely gonna be spending so much time on my branding and looking the challenges that we currently face. And thank you for your thoughts.
No worries. And Shrujaan, sorry, you said you just flashed your mic, so you just wanted to add one more thing, was it?
Yeah, so just wanted to circle back what Nadia and Angela have said. That is exactly where I was going next. I think you could focus on personal branding for sure. You definitely have a great product and you need to work on your Instagram, because you could even take this like a B2C instead of having a storefront. So think about that aspect. Try to get back to the whiteboard, chalk out your strategy, and definitely take the advice that you got. But what I observed is that whenever you hear something like a good advice that resonates with you, you are like, I will do it right away. But what I would suggest is that take a step back, take the notes, look at it, and see what works and what doesn't work. Don't make any decisions in a haste. Take everything with a strategic mindset and go for it. So you can do it, and if there's anything else any one of us can help, feel free to reach out to us.
Definitely, definitely. I'm definitely planning to look into the challenges and what works out for me and what is not working. I'm definitely for it.
Wonderful, Anaga.
Thank
So
you.
hopefully that's given you a lot of food for thought, a lot of different perspectives, and I'm sure that you feel well and truly served today.
Yes, 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 definitely. I can't
Wonderful. Well,
wait to
thank you
just
so much.
share the more insights with you.
Well, that's what we love. Please come back and let us know how it's going, because not only do we want people to ask questions, but also share their wins, because it doesn't just help you, it also helps everyone. So thank you so much. I'm going to gently tuck you back down to the audience, but please come back and
Thank you.
feel free to keep listening. Thanks so much.
Sure, sure, sure. Definitely, definitely.
Awesome. All right. Sharon, you've been waiting really patiently in the audience. What was your question today for the panel?
Hi guys, I didn't actually have a question. I got invited up, so I'm just really here to listen, and I'm a personal branding photographer and also personal branding strategist. So I'm just here to support and help if needed. If you don't need that, then I'm happy to go and sit back in the audience. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for coming up. Since you're up here, may I ask a question if you don't mind, Sharon?
Yeah, of course.
What would you say? What's one of the most important branding tips for a business? Should they worry about branding early on, or is it something that they should be evolving and working with?
I would say a bit of both, really. I think that, when you're starting a business, it's for me, it's certainly important that you have some kind of brand strategy. You have a direction in which you're heading, that can also evolve over time, because often we don't always know what we don't know. So for me, it's about having some kind of clear direction, and this is what I do when I'm with my clients, is that we set out a strategy and a plan of how they're going to take their business forward. So what are their brand values, for example? How are they going to reflect that visually in their social media marketing and in their website and things like that. So for me, it's kind of a little bit of both. I think you need to have some idea and some clarity around how you want to represent your brand, but that of course can potentially evolve and change over time, to reflect, as your brand grows. Those would be my thoughts.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Please feel free to stay on the stage a bit longer. I'm sure there'll be some questions that'll pop up if you don't mind.
Yeah,
And
of course. Thank you.
wonderful. And to Clayman, you've been sitting on stage for quite a while. Did you have a question, or are you there? If I can get a mic flash if you're on at the moment. No props. I'm just going to gently tuck you down into the audience. And David, what was your question today for the panel? Hello, David. Okay, no problems. David is a little bit shy at the moment. Since we've got some new mods that have stepped in the room and we've got a lot of people here, it's been a little while since we've done a quick intro. If we can just do a quick 15-second intro for everyone that's active. Can I just get a flash? Can everyone just flash their mics if you're on the stage and you're active? David, I can see that you're there. Ram, you're there. Angela's here. Dan, the man himself. Lee, very quiet. Callum, Hannibal, lovely to meet you. Wonderful. All right, let's start with our very own Angel in the house. Please go ahead.
Thanks, buddy. Hi, everyone. I'm David, the Sales Angel. I am a UK-based international sales and business coach with emphasis on sales. I help people navigate the stormy seas on generating deals without all the weird, ucky feeling about sales and selling. I used to suck at sales, and now I help people really master it. So if you're stuck, if you're not sure what to do, hit me up. I've got loads of free stuff I can send out to you, and I'm just here to contribute between meetings as and when I can. Over to you, I guess, Ram.
Thank you, Mr. Sales Angel, the one and only. My name is Ram. I'm from Sydney, Australia. For those that might not know me, I am a business coach, an advisor, and an investor that helps business owners get unstuck. Having done so for the last 16 years, I started at Ogilvy, held roles as head of digital design at Saatchi & Saatchi, servicing Amex, Qantas, and Toyota. Previously, I was design director at DDB, servicing McDonald's and Audi clients. So really, if you are overwhelmed in your business, you might be in options overload, or you might be not knowing where to start in your customer journey. And no matter what your business life cycle is, I'm here to help you in that regard. Thanks. Over to the next mod.
All right, who's next in the line? Shrujan, you're no longer here. Paul, are you here? No, Angela, go for it.
Thank you. Yeah, hi, my name's Angela George. I'm based in New York City in the Hamptons. After 4 decades in fashion, founded 3 successful companies and a brand. I now coach and consult individuals to help them with their personal branding, business branding, identify paths to growth, and just help them with overall strategy. And this is Angela. I'm done speaking.
Thanks so much. Dan, come on, give us the horn. Go for it. Well, this is awkward, Dan.
To my mic, and then you said get the horn. So I was pulling my horn out. Good morning, everybody. What is going on? This is Dan Monahan, your average freedom crusader, here to inspire where I can. Got a little bit of tech skill and a little bit about a lot. Mainly my focus is building websites and funnels. I would say that's what I'm an expert in. I know a little bit about a lot of other stuff too. But this is Dan. I'm done talking.
Dan, you got to work on your intro. It's just not exciting enough. Financial quarterback, Pasquale, Phil, Stacy, go for it.
Yeah, Dan is a very hard act to follow, but I will try. I don't have a horn, Dan. Hi, my name is Stacy. I am founder and owner of full service PR marketing firm in New York with offices in Connecticut called Co Communications. We have a very diverse client base, real estate, healthcare, education. Our sweet spots are branding and public relations. And I am extremely passionate about helping individuals and businesses building and amplifying their brands. And great to be here. I'm Stacy, and I'm done.
Look, Stacy, you got a horn.
You made my day. Thank you.
Well, that's see, Lee. Now it's you that's going to struggle because you can't beat the horn. But go for it, please.
I'll try. Thanks very much, Nathan. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world. My name's Lee Duncan. It's always a pleasure to be here and help out. Fantastic room, as always. I'm a full-time professional boxer, and I'm also in business in the health and wellness space. We run online platforms to help corporates assist their employees in all things health and wellness. I'm happy to help out with any questions you may have. If you're in the audience, feel free to pop up and connect with me. Hit my bio, and all my information is also in there to connect. And I will pass the mic on to the next person, which is Pete. Thank you very much, guys. I'm complete.
Thanks so much, Lee. Hannibal, did you want to unmute and introduce yourself, please?
Is Pete next, or I can go if Pete is not next?
Pete just sits there silently. He's the strong silent type, but he's not here at the moment.
That is hilarious. Well, my name is Hannibal. Thank you very much. I'm the executive director of FICO Finesse. We do affordable and effective credit repair. Our mission is to help you guys have ownership of homes and businesses. The first link in my Linktree bio is to have a free credit analysis where I go over all the 5 factors of credit, how to improve it. I go over everything that's inaccurate on your report. If it's not 100% accurate and verifiable, we use consumer protection laws to remove it legally. I have a pay per delete option where after you enroll, you don't pay anything until your negative items are actually removed. And then it's just $50 per negative item. So you'll be paying for results after it happens. Please tap in with me if you have any questions, and I'm here to offer value. I've also been a realtor for 9 years. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Hannibal. Callum, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Callum from Sydney, Australia, with a green background. I'm a venture capitalist. I manage two funds. Our first fund founded in the US and Asia that looks into health and health technologies. And our second fund is AI-centered, AI technology-centered, focused on B2B, number of industries, marketing tech, HR tech. And we love tech. We invest across Australia and in the US. Prior to coming into VC world, I spent many years at Microsoft, part of the worldwide team, and I've been involved in setting up incubators, accelerator across markets, in Asia in particular, and I've been in big tech and big four for a good 20 years prior to that. This is Callum with a green background and from Sydney, Australia, and I'm out. Over to Andreas.
Andreas, that was your cue to unmute. No worries, he's not here at the moment. But Emma has popped in. Emma, we're just doing quick intros if you missed the start. Are you here? And if you are, please go ahead. Well, that is awesome.
Sorry, did you
Andreas,
say? Sorry, did you say Sharon? I didn't hear.
Oh, actually, I said Emma, but you know what, Sharon, you're here anyway. Do a quick intro. Go for it.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Sharon. So, as mentioned earlier, I'm a personal branding photographer and also a personal branding strategist as well. I also do virtual shoots, so I can photograph anybody.
Wonderful. And I'm Nathan, somewhere at the top couple of rows. I specialize in finance. I work with property investors and investor in multiple businesses as well. So as you can see, we've got a pretty diverse panel up here today. Emma, are you back or not? Okay, we'll take that as a not. No problems.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I've got really bad signal, so I am here, but going in
do a
and out
quick
for about.
intro. We can hear you. Go for it.
Oh, you can? Okay. Hey, I'm Emma. Are we just doing business intros? What are we doing? I had no signal.
15-second intro. Go for it. You got 3 seconds left.
Oh. Hey, I am a business consultant and marketing strategist for female coaches, consultants, and service providers. And if you have questions about marketing strategy, funnels, social media, growing your online business, hit me up.
Thanks so much, Emma. Lovely to see you. And next up, we've got apologies if I mispronounce this, Yoshihiro. What was your question today for the panel?
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to talk. And this is a representative from Japan. I work in a cabinet office in government Japan, and I have to care about the branding or Japan or merchandise or everything. So almost like a punishment that the government decided to set me to branding. But anyway, I'd like to say thank you very much for having this opportunity to talking and introducing myself. I working like this way, and also that the bio, you can recognize that I work too much. But anyway, thank you very much. I'm done.
Did you have a question at all today for the audience?
Oh, excuse me. The most question I forgot is how to be a moderator in this wonderful room. Anyway, this is only one question. Thank you.
Sure. Well, feel free. You can reach out and DM myself, or the best person though would be the lovely lady at the top, who is the pivot queen, Kate. And feel free to jump on her Instagram and send her a direct message. But great question. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna gently tuck you down into the audience for now. But next up, we've got David again. So David, if you could unmute your mic, what is your question today for the panel, please?
Hi, Nate. Thank you for the opportunity. I had to jump off and go attend a quick meeting, but
No
I'm
problems.
excited.
So what was your question today for the panel, David?
Yeah, okay. So I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you. Did you have a question at all for the panel?
Yeah, so I'm trying to position myself as a sales coach and trainer. I just got to become a Grant Cardone licensee here in West Africa, but I'm kind of having a hard time positioning in the marketplace. So far, what I've been doing is provide coaching services and one-on-one trainings for network marketers out here in West Africa. But I need to scale that, but I really don't know how best to go about it, or how to put myself out there and take advantage of the licensee thing. So that's my question, done speaking.
No worries. Thank you so much for your question, David. So, are you here at the moment, Sales Angel? Because this seems like
Sure
a
thing. Of course,
Go for
of course.
it. Do your thing.
Oh, who is I talking to? David. Hi, David. How's things? So you're doing the licensee stuff for Grant Cardone. So you're reselling on the Grant Cardone University, or are you selling on all the services?
On all the services. So Cardone University, merchandise, specialized trainings, in-house trainings. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So being part of the licensee side, aren't you getting training all the time anyway?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Tons and tons of training.
Okay, cool. So where do you find the breakdown of a bottleneck is between getting all of that long end training to actually actioning?
Okay, so pretty much, I think it's a positioning thing for me. So let me just quickly say, I kind of niched down. So if you check my bio, you see strategist and consultant for network marketing professionals. So I do coaching and training for network marketers here in West Africa, kind of establishing myself as an authority in that space when it comes to sales training, sales coaching. I've been doing that one-on-one. But like I said, the challenge right now is trying to scale that
Yeah.
up.
As a point from what I'd say on this at the moment, the niching downside is always going to be difficult. And here's the part you're going to have. If you're going to be going into network marketers, the majority of network marketers love the fact that they do it. I love the hustle. The majority of network marketers are not looking to become sales professionals. A lot of the network marketers out there, from my experience, when you're looking out there, they've got given a set product, set process, and set training, and they're coming through that community. And the vast majority of people typically selling directly into their own network, hence the network marketing side. With the niching side out there, when you're looking at a product, so what are you reselling the Grant Cardone University, for example, on? What's that, 50? I don't know if in where you are, it's a lower price than it is in the US. Is it the same price as in the US?
Yeah, so it's the same price for the university, but the cool thing with the Cardone licensee thing is I can actually unbundle products. So I could take specific trainings. I don't need to just say, I don't need to necessarily sell access to the university. I
appreciate what you're saying. But my point being with this is when you're looking at a price point of something which is what sort of between £1,000 and £1,500, when you're going into the network marketing space, if you've got people in there now which are making an extra $500 a month, it's a very big ask when people are looking to spend £1,500, for example, $1,500 to get into that. That's not the scope for most people. When you look at the Cardone University, the reason I know about this is my platform is hosted on exactly the same place that Cardone University is. Same interactive platform, just my face instead of Grant Cardone's. And the big thing you're always going to find is when people are looking to buy into a course, a program, or something similar, it's the return they're going to get off the back of it. So, for example, if you buy into my program, I would expect people to see anywhere from a 50 to a 75x return from their money. So if you're looking to get someone in a network marketing space and you want to scale up that side and you're going to charge them £1,500, you're going to be getting them up to a very high level within network marketing, where at that point anyway, they would normally have people that are above them giving them the coaching and guidance. So if you're looking to do that in network marketing, you really need to tier into the higher level people that are out there that have already got massive teams, and actually you end up on the group side. I personally think, and this is just my humble opinion, you'll be a lot better off going off and pitching it into businesses where they've got sales teams. For example, with what I do now with my platform, which works the same as you'll be aware, the Cardone University and that Lightspeed VT system is great because it's not a course, it's a platform where you can put 20 people in a sales team all on the same platform. They can all be branded. Users can be held out and held accountable by a master access. So it's like an internal bolt-on into a system for a business. Now, because of that, your spend per user is a far less than you would pay for a single user. That also means then that you can go into a business that doesn't have current training and enable them to have the training at the touch of a button 24/7, 365. That's a very different thing than you'll find for the network marketing. The majority of the Grant Cardone University and that type of thing is based on physical sales, face-to-face sales, phone sales. Whereas for network marketers, the majority of the time it's done actually over social media through the DMs, which is not where the big strength for the Cardone University actually comes from. The majority of that is mindset, yes, but the majority of the sales is more the physical side. So I actually think with your niche where you are, you might have chosen a niche which seemed like a great fit, but I actually think you'll get a far better return off the back of it by utilizing the audiences out there that are going to be more specific to the products which are actually on that platform. Now, you've got all the other products out there for sure, but I think the niche you've done, I personally think you would be better suited on a different niche, because you could go and get clients that will pay you on a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year contract on a 20-person sales team will be not much harder to sell than it would be to go and get 1 or 2 network marketers that are making £500 a month, and the value isn't necessarily being seen by it, because for them to justify it, they need to start making 60 grand a year, but they're not looking for that. They're only looking to make 1,000 a month. I definitely spoke about 14 minutes about the same thing in one breath, but I hope that helps. Feel free to reach out more.
Yeah, sure, David. That sure helps. I really appreciate that. I exactly get what you're saying, and I was also thinking about that, but I think you've kind of solidified that for me now. So yeah, that helps. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. The main reason being is just because my platform does the same thing, so I know exactly what you're talking about, and you're in a great position. I don't think you're necessarily, and it's ironic that I'm giving you tips for someone who's got a competitive platform. Obviously, Grant Cardone's massively bigger. But with the access you've got on that platform and the usability you've got in that platform, you're thinking about the sales coaching when actually you've got a system there which you can go and resell on, which means that you don't have to be there. That means you can do a combination between live one-on-one training, and you get to leave them with the platform of Grant Cardone in their business 24/7, 365, whether remote working or physical working on top of. And so you sell that as a package with your services and with the ongoing training through the university as well, which is a far more interesting one. You're trying to sell a product based around you being the one-on-one coach, when that's not what they really need. A lot of them will want the ongoing training rather than just having one-on-one. Build it together as a package and you're off to the races. And if you decide to leave Grant Cardone's licensee, come and let me know.
I love this
Thank you,
subtle
Dave.
plug there, David. That was great. Paul, you also wanted to share something. Please go ahead.
Hi there, guys. I don't think I can add much to what David said, so I'm not going to add in, because I think I'll be repeating quite a bit of it and not making the points as eloquently as he did. So I'll stand down. Thank you anyway.
Wonderful. Well, David, you asked what you thought was a simple question. You just got an entire master class on that. So I hope that's been of benefit to you. Do you feel that was able to serve you today?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. That David kind of just hit the nail on the head for me and provided clarity. I think I absolutely know what to do now, and I want to appreciate you, David. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you the best of luck, David. So thank you so much for your question. And I'm going to just gently tuck you back down into the audience. And Lady C, I can see that you've actually popped into the room again. Was there a question that you've got today for the panel? Okay. Next up, we have Connie. What was your question today for the panel, Connie?
Okay, thank you for having me here. So I'm surrounded by brilliant people. So I'm starting a business where I help people write their life story to pass down to children and grandchildren and future generations. And currently I'm using Shutterfly to print out a book for them. I'm just trying to think, does anybody have any connections with other printing services so I don't have to use Shutterfly?
Okay, so Any of the mods, does anyone have connections with printing services at all? Can I get a mic flash?
I don't have any print stuff, so I just want to say hi to Connie. Hi, Connie. I knew I recognised your voice.
Well, hi, David. And by the way, my article is coming out June 11th. And
Boom shakalak. Congratulations. I can't wait to see it. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Were there any of the moderators that had an answer to this? Connie, unfortunately, it looks like you have a question that has stumped our entire panel. So unfortunately, we can't answer it now. The one thing I would suggest, though, is feel free to circle back to the room. It's a 24-hour-a-day room. So quite often you'll find that if you come back at a different time, you might find someone that may be able to help you. But sorry, unless you had another specific business question.
No, very quickly. No, Connie, if you drop me a DM, not today, but if you put it in your diary, drop me a DM on Friday. I'm speaking Thursday, but it could end up being a connection. It might be, but message me Friday, and I'll know either way. And if it is, I'll do an introduction. All right.
Thank you, David. I love you.
You're very cute. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I'm just going to tuck you gently back down into the audience, Connie, and I am now handing over the baton to the lady that was voted the #1 moderator of this room. This is a room with over 200,000 people that have been through it in the last, now it's 32 days. So over to you, Jackie. Here, can I get a mic online? Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Nathan, and for all you have done to keep the room running. Greatly appreciated. And Dan's in the house.
Guess who it was, by the way, Jackie?
I know. I love it. So, to all those that are on the panel right now, thank you so much for being here and contributing to the room. And for those in the audience, please put up your hand. Don't go to bed tonight with that burning question that you could have asked. This is a very inclusive environment and we welcome people to come to the stage, except those without something in their bios. So please go into your bios, add some information because we would love to welcome you. And just a reminder that you are in what it takes to run $1 million business. And for those that haven't done so already, please click on the little greenhouse at the top of the screen and press follow. The first two names will be the Pivot Queen and her husband, Daniel, members of this club and have bought this together. So they too deserve a free just to pour into you all. And a reminder for those in the audience, when you come on stage, please mute your mics so that you don't cause a disruption. So moving on, next on the list is Ghassan. Are you there, Ghassan?
Hello.
Might be Ghassan.
Hello, I'm Gizan. I'm from Lebanon.
Welcome.
I'm creating my platform to link creative minds and Lebanese designer to the global market. And it was like I'm stuck in now because a lot of competition, and I want to be different from others platform, and I'm not finding the solution about it.
So you're looking for a solution for a better platform to market your business. Is that correct?
Yes, of course. Because a lot of platform is on the market now, and it's like different. To be different, it will be the customized product, sustainable customized product.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying. Ibby, please make sure that your mic is muted at all times until it comes to your turn. Thank you so much. So, is there anyone on the panel that would like to take this and help with a marketing question?
I'm not clear on the question, Jackie. This is Angela. I'm still not clear on what the question is.
She wants help to really get her business out there. She has used other methods and that haven't been successful for her.
And it's because a lot of platform are promoting or are selling it's not the same product, but Lebanese product and handmade Lebanese product.
Okay, does that make sense, Angela?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not grasping it. Maybe someone else can help.
I think hi, this is Glenn. I think we need to know what the product is. What is the product?
It's all handmade. It's like fashion. It's fashion clothes and bag for beach bag. It's only the Lebanese product handmade and customized. It's every product customized. يعني you can put your initials on it. You can. It's fashion website.
Can I just ask also, Jazan, sorry to interrupt, but can I just ask also, when you say you're looking for another platform, are you talking about a social media platform? Are you talking about a platform to physically sell your clothes on, like, for example, Etsy or Amazon?
No, I'm trying to make my own website. And it was like the idea is a little bit about some artificial intelligence. It will be to put your measure and you can see the product on you when you are يعني if you can try virtually. And it's like no, I'm trying to, but it's like the website to build it should be different on others website. That's my question.
Well, personally, I think first of all, you definitely need to look at having a WordPress website so that you have the autonomy there with your website, and then you could link it to something like Shopify so that people can actually look at your products on your website. You have complete control over that and the template and the build of it and adding your products, and then you could use a plugin like something like Shopify where you can then actually sell those. But then in conjunction with that, you obviously want to be harnessing your social media as well to promote the products and then direct them through as a funnel through to your website from there. Creating that brand awareness through social website, but because you have the complete control over that as what I would be doing. But I'd love to hear what everyone else has to say.
Yeah, this is Glenn. If you don't mind, I'll just jump in again. I'm not sure specifically what type of clothing you are selling, but I know there are other sites out there that do this where you can go online, give your measurements, and you can get clothing that's custom fit to you specifically. So my question is there a particular customer segment of the market that you can really be appealing to that somebody else isn't? Because I feel like you are up against a lot of competition. And as we just heard also, there's a lot of things that you can do with website, with SEO. You do have to have a fabulous website to really get a share here. But I think you really need to narrow down a specific and different customer that you're going after rather than just going after the broad general market. That would be my advice, to really figure out what's different about your product and who you can really focus in on and who you can really zero in on that's going to want this particular product line from you versus all the other companies out there that are doing similar things. This is Glenn. That's my advice. Thank you.
Yes,
Hi,
thank
this
you,
is
Glenn.
Angela.
This is
Oh, sorry.
Angela, you go first, please.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, now I think I understand. So you're saying, basically, I mean, the two platforms that I would recommend for e-commerce, for fashion, more for the type of products you are doing would be either Shopify or WooCommerce. And for me, I know Shopify. I don't know WooCommerce, but I know some people do use it for e-commerce for products. But the other thing you did mention was you talked about AI. You talked about, that people can, so I would imagine that Shopify has, is kind of working in that arena with this new technology where you can, people can actually look like see themselves wearing the clothing virtually, like that type of thing. That was the thing that you had mentioned. So I would and if that's actually what you're asking, I would be in contact with Shopify because they have tons of, and the beauty of Shopify is they have tons of different plugins that it really is like an all-in-one. So I don't know if Shopify, I would imagine it's available in your country, but that would be the web. If you're not on Shopify and you're on some other thing that you built, or um, Magento or whatever, I would, which I kind of doubt, but I would definitely recommend Shopify for what you're doing. And then again, I'm sure that they would have information as far as plugins that can do the have the AI and the VR and that type of stuff. Was that your question, Jazan?
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate a lot. I appreciate all the recommendation. I'm targeting all the people for the question before. I'm targeting all the people to be different, and they want something different. So we can provide them from our different a woman, a very different woman, and buy from our website.
You're saying your things are customized, that they're initials, or is that what you were saying before for the purchaser?
Yes. Hat you can on if you want. You can ask for your own design.
Did that answer your, still like, I'm still, did that answer your question?
No, thank you so much. I have the answer of the question. I will look for Shopify if they have the AE, because artificial intelligence, because it's very hard to build it in Lebanon. So it was like the good answer. Thank you.
I'll say one last thing about it. I feel like the AI big brands are working with, because I haven't looked into it personally, but I don't know if it's trickled down to smaller brands. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely out there for big brands, people like Gucci or Nike, or, like the
Yes,
big
I know.
brands. I just don't know if it's trickled down. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, yes, I know it's for the big brand, so it will be. I was like trying to see if we can build it. That's why.
Hey, this is Emma. Jisan, I know of 3 different solutions that are areas that you can integrate into websites. I think that you've had some great advice here, and Shopify, definitely look into whether they offer this option. But definitely we've had clients in the past on their e-commerce clothing websites use options, and I'm going to name 3. One of them is called Reverie.ai. That's the one that we've seen people use most often and that we've helped with people, Revery.ai. Then there's also Trimirror, Trimirror, and also a UK brand, which is newer, which is called Spotless. And all of those, especially Reverie, are used by some of the major brands, but they also have accessible options to integrate into websites. Now, obviously, it depends on how you've built your website, and I'd recommend, definitely doing your research, because e-commerce is not my specialist area, but definitely those 3, Reverie.ai, Trimirror, and Spotless. We've worked with clients who have had really good success using those, and so look into those. Hope that helps.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Dan, one of your mods in the center here with the big black bold lettering. Those are the Shopify and like WordPress and all that stuff. Those are great options. The one thing I can say about that though is that they'll be it can get expensive, like paying for all that stuff. I know another option for this that it's the same as having like a Shopify, and I feel guilty if I don't say something. So, like if you're looking for a platform to sell and to sell your products, is that, just getting clear, is that correct? You want to be able to automate it so that when people come to shop, they can kind of fit out what size of clothes they
It's
want.
only to find. It's find the platform to attract people and to get more sales, because the competition is high, and in the market. That's why.
Sorry, can I just
Okay,
say
so
one last? Oh, sorry, you still.
go ahead, Sharon. Women first.
Sorry, all I was just going to add to that is, with just tipping into what Jazan said, is that I've just had a look at your Instagram, Jazan, and I would really focus on that as well, because looking at your Instagram, it's not really, for me, it's not really selling your brand and your product as well as it could. I would maybe give that some attention as well, if you don't mind me saying. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay. So Jazan, sorry, I'm trying to get. I want to get some clarity so that I know how to give advice. If I mean, if I don't know the destination, it's hard to give direction to get there. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So could you clarify what exactly are you asking? Like you want to get more trafficking? It's more a marketing question. How can you get more awareness of what you're doing, or do you looking for a platform to be able to sell your products or services?
I'm looking for a platform to target people who like to be different from to buy Lebanese product from the creator minds in Lebanon and designers in Lebanon.
Okay, so this is more of a marketing question and rather aware. So just a clarifying question. Where do you currently sell your products from?
Now on my Instagram, I'm selling my product.
Oh, okay. So you're right. Sorry, I'm just gonna mute
I'm
you there,
building my business.
Karthik.
It's a startup business.
Right. Okay. So you don't actually have a web presence yet. You've just been using your Instagram to date.
Yes, of course. And I'm trying to see what the best platform to attract the best building website to attract people to buy the product.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Then that's. I mean, you got some great advice. There's lots of options out there. To be able to do that, and yeah, just to honor the rules of the club. I'm just leave it at that. And yeah, you've got great advice. I mean, there's lots of platforms you can choose from. Um, yeah, that's the Shopify, WordPress. Those are all good ones. There's other options. Just we're not supposed to self promote, so I'm gonna leave it at that. This is Dan. I'm done.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think you've got a lot of information there to consider, Ghassan.
Thank you
So you are so welcome. I'm just going to tuck you gently back down into the audience and move on next to Sean. Sean, do you have a question for the panel?
Hi, yeah, thanks. Thanks, everybody. Yes, I am currently working on two ideas, one for enterprise and one for government / education. And I haven't really done much with either of them yet. I still work a 9 to 5, and I wanted to ask the panel, how do you know when it's time to go for it? I know when your idea is something that is ready or that you think has enough of a chance that you want to try it out. How do you know, or how do you feel that an idea is something that has actual potential versus just like nothing, like a fever dream?
Can I answer?
Okay,
for me?
moderators.
Yeah, please.
Can I answer? This is Hannibal.
I think Hannibal wanted
Yes,
to go.
Hannibal.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Hannibal.
So, for one, the practical answer to how you know is you're going to test the market. You're going to split test. And you're going to see if people are receptive to your value add. But the other insight I want to give you is there is no right time. There is no perfect time. Contrary to popular thought, it's just not. There'll always be a stalling moment if you're waiting for the right time. I'm going to make it akin to waiting for the right time to have a child. And I'll tell you that from personal experience. I always thought in my mind, I wanted to be a certain age, have a certain amount of money in my bank account, be in a certain position, be retired, all that type of stuff. But when those real things happen, they make you get ready. When I saw the ultrasound and my son was maybe 7-8 months away, I'm like, there is no more there is no more waiting on this. Like, I have to make that move to make my business prosper, because I know the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur I've been finagling being an entrepreneur and working a 9 to 5 since my early 20s. And I know there's some times where there's scarcity and, you know, you have a peanut butter sandwich for like 5 days or so. I didn't want to subject a child to that. So that literally was the catalyst to me making my business fully thrive and going all in. What you should do is always budget in an appropriate way. You should set a goal and work backwards. You should start to invest. I would say 10% of what you earn. You should also save 10% of what you earn. And you should start to, with your investments, try to get to a point where it almost matches your earned income. That will happen if you continuously invest, and that activates the power of compound interest. But yes, make a goal. You should get people like yourself around you. You are the summation of the 10 people you spend time with most. So find people doing right now what you aspire to do in the next 10 years. Join collectives where you know they're collaborative. There's Facebook groups, there's Clubhouse, there's just real life meetups. So between having the right people around you, perhaps finding a mentor, um, taking action is very critical.
Hey, சுருக்கு பயமா வெட்டலங்க தாயமா 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 என்ன ஒண்ணு மயமா
Sorry about that, guys.
Yes,
Taking
apologies, guys. I dealt with him accordingly.
There's another, but yeah, taking action is really critical. We can learn textbook and theory all we want to, but there comes a moment where you actually get in the real world, and it very much differs from what you read. So taking action, writing, working backwards, setting your goals, writing your goals down, and having the right people around you should help. But yes, test, and adjust and pivot, because that's what business is about.
I'd like to
All right,
add,
thanks.
if that's okay. Sean, you got some really great advice. So there's not actually much to add with what Hannibal just shared. Before I just quickly add, can we just get a clarification? When you say that, how do you know whether to pursue an idea? Are you talking about a business idea, or are you talking about a lifestyle pivot, sort of you're at a crossroads type of decision? What's the actual decision that you're stuck with?
Business idea. It's two business ideas. One is addressing inefficiencies in the way people work, and I want to find out if the way that I've been doing it has been helpful to myself and others in the company that I've worked at, and I want to find out if I can scale it out and turn it into a service.
Perfect. So I'll give you,
yeah.
Awesome. So product or business idea. Okay, so here we go. You've got a framework that is a design methodology that anyone can really use. It's called the 4Ds, or the double diamond. So basically there's the discovery phase, where you are purely looking at research. You're cultivating as much data as you can to really arrive at the second phase, which is define. So you're now going to define the problem in the market, with which you are also defining then the people that you're going to serve. Go down to not just the demographic, but the actual needs segmentation. Where is the actual need on the journey with which they are going to use what you've just described? Then you're going to arrive at a hypothesis, with which we move into the third phase, which is design. You're going to design some concepts or potential solutions to that problem, which is where you're currently at. You're kind of thinking, how can I make this actually feasible, as we say, desirable, viable, as well as sustainable? And then we go to the fourth stage, which is the final stage, which is design. Deliver. So we went from discovery to we went from discovery, which is research, then we went to define, and then we went to design, and then we went to deliver. As what Hannibal just shared, it's very much complementary to that, where you're going to test the market. But I wouldn't go as far as saying that you got to spend a lot of money on that. A lot of this is also, when we come up with solutions, we can also test with other ways. There's prototypes, there's surveys. And when I say prototypes, you don't have to go and build the thing. You can just design a low fidelity wireframe if it's a screen-based solution, for example. Okay, I don't know if it will end up being a text solution, but you get my point there. Also, you can spend a few dollars on a landing page and put literally $1 a day on the messaging that you're A/B testing, and then now you're testing the message articulation. So there's a few ways to go about this. I think it's a great question, and I think more people should be asking questions like that, because Sean, the world isn't in a shortage of ideas. The world is in a shortage of action takers, but we also don't want you to take action in the wrong direction. So hopefully that's just a framework. You can Google it. It's called the Double Diamond. It's a design methodology, and anyone can apply it. So hope that helps. Thanks. This is Ram.
Thanks, Ram. That's really helpful.
Yes. Thank you, Ram. Is there anyone else that wants to come in on this one? But I think Ram has some. Hannibal, you want to come back in?
Yeah, it's okay to fail and to have set away from failure, lean into failure. And that sounds very cliche or very rah-rah, but a lot of times things come from happy accidents and mistakes, and you'll discover something. You may pivot into something that's unintended, and it actually helps you thrive. And when you see the most successful businesses, if you watch stuff like How I Built This, you'll see a lot of businesses are very far from their initial intended concept. So fail. That's the quickest way that you'll learn.
So I just want to add one other.
Thanks, Hannibal.
Sean, sorry, this is Ram again. I just also had one lingering thought, which could actually be the most important thought that I shared. But the other thing is, of course, to look at when you're looking at the actual market opportunity, I want you to also consider what that opportunity is going to cost you to enter it. And I say that because there's going to be competitors. How can you play in a space that's currently being underserviced? I mean, for lack of a better analogy, we have obviously, Mercedes, Tesla, Toyota, Hyundai. They all service a particular appetite of customers that want a vehicle. So it's going to be no different. Look at the competitors that are currently playing in the space. Again, this will probably plug into the research phase at how much it will cost to acquire a customer. How much is that customer going to be worth? Even if this is hypothetical, really, these are the things that's going to make you go, oh man, this is actually very viable. And also, what is your capability? How much are you willing to spend in order to arrive at basically an analysis that, hey, this is how much it's going to cost me to make. This is how much a lifetime value of a customer is going to be worth. And I say lifetime value because, it might be subscription model, and the average might be a 2-year membership for X amount. Again, these are just vague numbers, I know, but I think you get where I'm getting at, because it's got to be a viable business as well. This is Ram. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ram. Thanks a lot.
If it's okay, I would like to jump in with also one point of view.
Yeah. Yes, Ari, go ahead.
Awesome. Because I'm meeting a lot of new entrepreneurs, and this question comes up, if not daily, then a few times a week for sure. And I would like to narrow it down, because there are really good advices already here, and I can relate to them, but I've been doing business for 5-6 years now. That's why it's easy for me to relate. But when I come back to the point, which is like when it's good test for an idea, I just only have one question that I have to hear from other people. If you can get someone asking you this question, how much for that thing that you do, that means the idea is slowly becoming kind of validated, because it sounded that you have a service, which means basically putting in your time and effort, not like a product, but like a service. So this is the question that you should hear. If someone asks you it, then that's a good validation in my point of view. Yeah, this is Aris, and have an awesome day, guys.
Thanks, Aris.
Thank you, Ari.
That's a good point.
So, Sean, do you feel served?
I feel like I got served. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. I'm just going to gently tuck you back down into the audience. And next we have Ozzy. Are you there, Ozzy?
Yes, good day, everyone.
Good day, Ozzy. Can you put your question to the panel in 60 seconds, starting with my question is? Thank you.
All right. My question is simply having an exit plan before starting a business is a must or not for strategic approach or to see the end, whatever it takes. Having an exit plan, is it a must or not?
Okay, thank you. If one of the panelists want to flash their mics who want to deal with this, Dan, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to start with this. I mean, this because I'm a strategist, so this is always every time you get into a game of chess or a business, you know, plan. Uh, Everyone, you want to think with the end in mind, right? Where do you want to end up? Right? And so and if you think with the end in mind, what is the or most efficient or upon which you can get there? That is not only all of those things, but at the same time, most advantageous to you and others. Um, so to get more specific than that, you say, is it necessary to have? Not necessary, no. But again, like I just said, you should always think with the end in mind. So the question really is something that you should ask yourself. What is it that you want to gain from the business or business plan which you're formulating or putting together? And then once you once you have that in mind, what it is that you want to build, right? What is the purpose of doing it then? So is it that you're doing this for a financial gain, right? So that say you're going to do whatever your I don't know what your business is because you didn't clarify that, but so right, is it just for monetary gain in the sense that you're building this business so that you can then have exactly what you said, an exit strategy where you can net yourself a profit from doing the thing that you're proceeding with, or are you thinking of this or asking the question because is this necessary in order to go into business? And so the question really there then goes back to yourself is what do you want? Right? So some people start businesses for money and some people start businesses for passion. So I mean that's a question you have to ask yourself. But you can always you can if it's something that you're doing for to make money from, then sure, think with how can you use the thing that you're building, the business, the plan that you have to make money, and then so that you can exit profitably, of course, and then gaining your time back. But it's not necessary. No, those are my thoughts. This is Dan. I'm done.
Thanks. Then, would you mind if I clarify a little bit? Exit plan could be, as you said, it can be ending like with an M&A transaction. It can and you can exit with an IPO, and you can leave all your business to a social institution for the common needs of a community. So exit plan, it can be any of them. So having it, would it help strategically or not? That was my question. To see the end from the beginning, to plan the end from the beginning, would it help us or not? It was my question.
Right. Okay. Well, if I okay, so I'll reframe my answer that I gave, but I think I answered that. The question, Ozzy, is to ask yourself that question: what do you want? If you're right, that's why I said, is it passion for you that you're doing this, or is it for you to leave a legacy, or is it for you to build the business, right? So you don't need an exit plan, but if you can plan to, if that's what inside, if that's what you want, Ozzy, if that's what your end goal is, then yeah, think with how can you position yourself for that exit so that you can leave it to others to maintain and run, and to continue and keep that legacy for yourself or for whatever it is that you're putting your time your energy, your thought process, and your work into to build. So remember, the one thing we don't get more of, everybody, is time. That's why I'm so honored to be amongst all of these amazing leaders that are on this stage. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Maybe another Ahmad has some input. This is Dan. I'm done.
Thanks, Dan. Is there any other mod that would like to come in on this regarding an exit plan, whether you should make one from the very beginning before you even start up a business?
Can I just hop in there for a second? This is Glenn.
Yes, Glenn, thank you.
Sure. Just as a general guideline, and this is just to further trumpet what was just said earlier. There is no perfect time when you're an entrepreneur, and you can put as much research as you want into it and try to create the best exit strategy you can. But we all know today is Tuesday, and tomorrow the world changes. Interest rates go up or down. Things happen around the world that affect things. What you should be doing is the best research that you can for what customers are out there for the business model that you're striving to achieve. Are there customers out there for that? Yes, you can do all kinds of research. But for anyone out there who's feeling entrepreneurial and is looking for a guaranteed, this is the time to do it, this is the perfect day, it doesn't exist. But the greatest ideas in the world, if they're locked inside your brain, can't do anything. So at some point, to use the term, no guts, no glory, you just have to go for it. You can do all the research you want, but you've heard the term also, paralysis by analysis. You can analyze, analyze, analyze. But ultimately, if you know you've got customers out there for the idea that you're pursuing, and you know that your idea is good, you do some research, again, as one of the mods just said earlier. Are people saying, what would that cost me? That's something I'd be interested in. At some point, at some point, you have to jump into the water and just say, I'm going for it now. Because there is no perfect time. Barring if you won the lottery, no, maybe that's a perfect time. Now you won the lottery and you can afford to throw money against your idea and see if it works out. But to me, it's all about wanting to achieve something that no one else has. And you know you've got the product, the service, the idea, and it's original, it's creative. People will want it. If you build it, they will come. And that's when it's time to go. But if anyone out there is waiting for the perfect time for someone to tap them on the shoulder and say, today is the day, today is the perfect day, it just doesn't happen. So if you've got a great idea, pursue it. If you're really entrepreneurial and you've had it working 9 to 5 or working for a boss that you don't like, or you're in a company where you're feeling dead ended, then it's time to go for it. But don't wait for the perfect day, because the perfect day just doesn't come along. That's Glenn. I'm done speaking for the moment.
Thank you, Glenn. Lewis?
Yes, Glenn, that was absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Jackie, for letting me speak here. I just want to add to that a couple of things that I have lived by from things that I've picked up over the course of building my business. One is from the book You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And there was a line in there. I can tell you exactly where I was. I was sitting in my car working a little part-time job somewhere. I had the vision of kind of putting this stuff together. This was a couple of years ago. And I read this line. It said, if you have a plan B, you're not ready, because you're just jumping all in. You're throwing everything. You're not necessarily caution to the wind. I'm not saying be foolish about it and say, quit your job and I'll figure out how I'm going to live. But you have to know in your heart that this is the thing to do. And you have to know that I'm going to do this no matter what. And that was one of the things. And then speaking to another point that Glenn made, if you build it, they will come. Alan Weiss, I follow him a lot, and the man makes like $30,000 a keynote. So he kind of been around for a while. And his thing is, that's not enough. It's not enough to build it and they will come. You have to build it, then tell them you built it so they will come. So those two things kind of go together, jumping in and getting started on it, but then also letting people know that you're out there. I just put those in there with Glenn. Thank you. This is Lewis with Get to the Damn Point, and I am out.
Appreciate that, Lewis. And Glenn, of course, and Dan. So, do you feel served by the panel, Ozzy?
Thank you for their effort. Thank you.
It was a good question, Ozzy, and something that everybody should consider. So thank you for the question. I'm just going to tuck you back down into the audience and move on to Susu. Are you there, Susu?
Sorry. Hi. Hey, good.
Hi.
Hi. I'm
Can
Susu
you?
from. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you better now. Thank you. Can you frame your question in 60 seconds, starting with my question is, please?
Yes. Hi, my name is Susu. I have a platform for women from women, and I make women easier to find coaches, mentorings, or advisor. And I am like I have the webpage and everything already. I found the coaches that I want to work with, and now I'm on. My question is, how can I get more? Or not more, how can I get my clients not just based on social media? Is there an option? Because I mean, I can't do that. I know that this is a game in this business, but is there any other opportunity that I can do if I don't want to do social media only?
Can I answer
Okay,
that?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, this is Mireille. I am the founder of Global Woman. I have created a very successful global movement. I have franchised my club more than 20 countries, and we run online networking events. We have an academy, we have summits, we have a magazine. So to be honest, I hear this many times, so many times from many women around the world. They don't like social media that much, and they start a business and they believe that being in social media, it's not necessarily. And sometimes they try to postpone that time, that moment to come. Say, oh yeah, I want to be successful in a business, but I don't like social media. The truth is that if you can be more visible and give yourself more exposure, that would definitely help you to reach your goals and your mission much easier, because everything is about visibility. You definitely need visibility. If you don't want that visibility in social media, then of course there are other ways. For example, as I mentioned, we have women in our clubs who don't like social media, but they show up in our meetings every single day. We run online networking events and they feel safe. They feel like they are in a platform where they get to know each other. But slowly, even those who come with the idea that I don't want to be the face of my business, I don't want to expose myself, very soon they build that confidence and they understand that it's not a choice, it's a responsibility. If you are running a business nowadays, especially in the time of isolation, where do you reach people? The only way you can reach people, because business is about people, is about serving people, and nobody can achieve their goals or their vision. You can have a big vision, but you never get that big vision without people. People are everything. When I say the best top tips to run a successful business, I say there are three big top tips that I give to anybody that is running a business. Number one is people. Number two is people. And number three is people. Now, if you don't want to be in social media, ask yourself a question. Where do you think you can reach these people? But there is another way. If you don't want to be the face of your business, let's suppose you don't want to become the celebrity, which I believe the celebrities of today are not anymore artists or celebrities that we think they are, but they are these women and these people who are providing solutions for others. But there is another way where I would suggest, if you can find somebody who is good in digital marketing, and that can be a combination of finding a copywriter, a team that can help you with digital marketing and IT, then you can write a copy. You can do Facebook ads, not necessarily about you, it's about the organization, and create a funnel where all these people who are watching your ad will opt in to somehow into your website or into a funnel that you are creating for your movement. And then you build an email campaign. So first people get something for free from the Facebook ad or Google ad or YouTube ad, any kind of advertisement. then they opt in into some kind of funnel that you create, and then you start building relationship with these people by emailing them, or probably in that funnel it can be book a call, or because you give a free book or guide or manifesto or some kind of thing, important thing that your organization. I don't know, is this noise with me, or can you hear me, guys? Okay, I think it was somebody that was unmuted. Again, just to summarize before I finalize my thoughts, the best way which can help you until you grow the finances is be in social media. If you don't want to be in social media, you can still run a marketing campaign where you can bring people, you can drive people, you can drive traffic to your website or to your landing page, and then you bring people to let's say, software. You need to connect your landing page or your website into with the software. It can be at the beginning, if you are we have just started from above 2,000, then I think there is a little extra charge. Then probably you can use other softwares, which for a long time I used Infusionsoft. Now it's called Keep. So the most important thing in a business, you need to store your data. Data is everything. Data is your intellectual property, especially if you're providing services, but also even if you're providing different products. Data is the power of your business. There is that big expression, say your network is your net worth. You may have, let's say, a lot of followers in the Clubhouse, a lot of followers in Instagram, but these are not your followers. I mean, they are for today, but we don't know how the algorithm is going to change. What you want to make sure is that all these people who follow you, they kind of build a relationship with you, and you bring them into your own store. And your own store is your website or a landing page or some kind of space that you create for your community. Because as I understand, what is the name of your women organization? Are you there? I don't know who. Okay,
I don't
are
know
you
where
still
she
there?
is. I don't know where
Okay.
she's gone, Mirella. I don't know
Okay.
where she's gone.
Probably everybody can apply, or if you'd like to use my platform to write about you and your work in the Global Women magazine, or to come and speak in one of the events that we organize, please get in touch. I'm running a masterclass tomorrow with somebody who is an expert on Amazon. I'm running my online training on Thursday as well, how to take your business global online. If somebody is interested to learn more, please get in touch and I will send you a complimentary ticket. And thank you very much. And I'm done speaking.
Oh, thank you for that, Mirella. I appreciate your input.
Hi,
So,
Marilla. Can I send you a message so you can do that?
Of course, yeah. Anybody can send me a message. That's why we're here, to connect.
All right.
okay. So next we are on to Shahid. Are you there? Shahid? Okay. We will move on to Ibi. Are you there, Ibi?
Yes, I'm here. My
Can you?
question is, yes,
Oh,
you hear me?
thank you, Ibi. Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
I
Please,
mean, I
please
mean,
go straight.
yes. My question is, I want to know how can I get more customers or potential customers to attend my online tour of Jamaica and the activities in the mountains and cooking by the river. That's it.
Oh, thank you. Is there anyone on the panel that would like to take this one? I'll just kick it off, Ibi. Are you connecting with any tourism organizations, any travel organizations?
Well, through Airbnb, that's the only institution that's connected with right now.
Well, you need to expand that. So, number one, to the tourism board in your own country, and secondly, to any travel organizations that bring people to where you are. That is certainly a better way of getting targeted people to view your content. So, is there anyone else on the panel that would like to contribute? No, I think they.
Sorry, can I
Can
just
I
say
hear the question
something?
again?
Hello?
Sorry, I missed the question.
Yes, Marella. Go ahead with your question again, Ibby.
The question is, I do tours in Jamaica, and I'm going to rephrase the question. I do tours in Jamaica, and I know now with the pandemic is on us, a lot of countries are opening up now to travel for vacation. I want to know how can I expose my experience to a wider cross section of people globally.
Well, that's not my expertise, but because I love marketing, I would say focus on finding partnerships. For example, as you are being active in Clubhouse, which I think is a good thing to do. Probably I have women in my platform who are guide tours, or they have their own agencies, and they are always looking for partnerships into different countries. For example, you can find somebody who is doing the same thing in UK or Germany, or it depends. What are the countries that you would like to promote your business? Well, first of all, you need to know who are the best customers for you. Who are the people who potentially can visit Jamaica? Are they coming from Europe? Are they coming from US? Because in your case, I think it's about tourism. Now, of course, it's very limited right now, but things hopefully will be open. And you can use this time to build some partnerships online. So you can start developing ideas. How can, for example, you can collaborate with another agency in another country, and during this gap, let's suppose that you don't have that much work. It doesn't matter what kind of job you do. It can be tourism or industry or any other industry like beauty or whatever that has been impacted by COVID. What I would say, again, use social media. For example, you can start a YouTube channel and give your knowledge, share your knowledge with people who have curiosity to learn about Jamaica. I would love to learn about Jamaica, but again, it's all about consistency. If you start, for example, let's say a podcast or a YouTube channel weekly or twice a week or once a week, whatever is best for you, and be consistent, and then you can do a video and show us Jamaica and show people Jamaica and put a link below the video and say, hey, if you'd like to learn more, or you know somebody is interested on this. So at least raise some awareness about who you are, what you do, and the right people will come and find you. So during this time, use it for marketing, use it for branding, use it for raising your profile, use it for making more connections, creating more partnerships. So instead of sitting there, I've seen a lot of people, they really have been devastated about this situation, and they're blocked on what is happening, and they do nothing. So instead of sitting there and doing nothing, be a little bit creative and say, hey, this is where I am, this is happening to the whole world, it has impacted me, but still I can do something. Instead of doing nothing, I still can use this time for something. And I would say that can definitely make you feel better. Probably you can find a new passion. You can be creative, because business is about creativity and innovation. So you can innovate it. You can do things in your local area as well. I know it's not easy, but if you meditate a little bit on that, probably you can come with brilliant ideas that still can help you at least to overcome this part. As I said, I'm not an expert in this area, but I would say focus on the marketing and raising your profile.
Thank you, Marella. Next, we have Ari.
I would like to actually add as well on Abby. First of all, Marella, awesome suggestions. I'm all like 100%. You should listen it and write down something what she already said. That's how it actually. That's how I started, and with one friend when we built adventure travel agency, just because of this kind of suggestions. And I can just from my kind of experience just point out two directions that you should focus on currently now. One, agencies like I had a few years ago would love to have in-house, or let's say in Jamaica, guides that would like to take our groups. because we were good at marketing and getting clients, but it is always time consuming to have guides, let's say from Riga, Latvia, every single time fly with the group. So it's really helpful to have a trustful, in price range, a guide that actually can take group inside and actually show much better Jamaica. So the idea on try to connect with all the small and different kind of travel agencies is it's a gold. That's like a platinum suggestion for you, which already you got one. And the second one, which is when we started travel agency, my partner, he was shy and he really tried to avoid uh, all the videos that I made. Basically, he's really great with adventures and living them and following with the camera and stuff, but those things didn't help us to sell. The only thing that helped was actually that I borrowed an old GoPro. I think it was gold, no, it's like black one, third GoPro 6 years ago. I'm not sure which one was that, but I borrowed it and I had some old DSLR camera, and I started documenting all of our trails, all of our travels. I made I learned editing, made movies out of them. It did took a lot of effort. I still use those skills actually daily now, but those were the ones that got the eyeballs on us. And that's actually was the backbone on a travel agency that's still actually working. I'm not in it anymore, but that's a different kind of story. But the agency is still actually working. Even now, they pivoted. They have different product currently. But yeah, the first one, find the agencies. They would love to have someone they can trust that can take in groups. So that's one. They search for people like you as well. If you come towards them, that's even better. And the second one, if you want to become more independent, film your travels. Film how you walk, film what you see. Really actually show it. Because videos, they do magic. So that's from my part. Enjoy the day, guys.
Can
Thank
I
you, Harry.
jump in? Can I jump in really quickly here with a really simple suggestion for you,
Yes,
Ivy?
of course, Glenn.
I just in 2 seconds. I don't know if you're doing this, Ivy. I just did a Google search. Did you know that there's 24,000 guest rooms on Jamaica? 24,000. Now, I don't know what the occupancy rate is at any point in time, but you can reach out to magazines, you can get on social media, you can go to websites, but your customers are right there. There's 24,000 rooms in Jamaica. What you need to do, in my judgment, is build relationships with resorts, with hotels that have guests coming in, and even the cruise lines that stop by as well, where you should have a great marketing package put together and you can sell that package, build relationships with the hotels so that when the guests come in and they're looking, hey, we're in Jamaica, what can we do? Hey, we've got this great tour that this guy Ibby does. It gets 5 stars. Everybody at the hotel loves going on it. If you build relationships with the concierges at the hotels and on the cruise lines that come into town, you won't have to do any other kind of marketing because if you're providing a great tour and they get good feedback about you and their guests feel safe and feel happy and feel like they've got a great experience that they've taken pictures of and they can share with their friends and their family, you'll never have to work at marketing for a day in your life once you build those relationships. So it's all right there. It's all local. It's all right under your, literally under your nose. You just need to go out and establish relationships with the hotels. They're already getting people to your island. You just need to get them from the hotel to your tour, but they're there. So go build relationships with each and every hotel. Make a list. There's probably a couple hundred hotels. It won't even take you that long. The more hotels you can build a relationship with, the more concierges who have your travel company and your experience on their mind when the guests say, hey, we're here, we don't know what to do. And people say, you got to go on Ibby's tour, you will be golden. That is my advice. I'm done speaking. This is Glenn. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Ibi, this is
Yes.
Vitali in the middle. How are you, Ibi? Ibi, you have a pen and paper handy? Because what I'm going to tell you, you're
Yeah.
going to have to write it down and remember it. So, explain to me life before COVID. What did you do?
Before COVID, well, the entertainment industry was booming. So
Oh
like
no, I
reggae.
know it was booming, but what did you do? Where did you get your customers from? Because I understand inside hotels there are providers that have desks set up most likely like everywhere else, and probably for the most part, it's bigger tour operators. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, you're correct.
Okay, how did you get your business?
Well, word of mouth, from word
Okay,
of mouth, grapevine, and also from, as I mentioned earlier, through Airbnb. So that was
okay.
mostly how, yeah.
So you're Airbnb events planner, one of those people?
I wanted our experience on Airbnb. So when people,
Experience, I'm sorry, experience, yes. Okay, now, what is it you're trying to do? You ask a question, you want to use your skills. How do you want to use them when you said you want to use your skills?
well, I am a
Just give
chef
me
as
quickly a few ideas so I
yes.
have an
Well,
idea. Like,
I
what were
want
you
people to
thinking in your head?
experience. I want people to experience what I do and what I enjoy, and I have pleasure
Okay,
in teaching them. Yeah.
okay. So, look, EB, pandemic is going to be over by the end of this year. A lot of people in a lot of places in the world are going to get vaccinated. You know, I'm in New York. I already don't have to wear a mask going anywhere. I'm fully vaccinated, right? How's pandemic situation in Jamaica, EB?
The infection rate is decreasing, and more vaccination is increasing.
Correct. So everything is going to, American travelers are going to go back to Jamaica, right? Everything is going to get restored. Now, do you have any money saved up? Can you build a new, more modern website, from the years you had? Don't try to do it yourself, but I would hire somebody to look like a little bit like more like $1 million, right? Install messengers, phone numbers so people can text you. Maybe buy an American number. It's so easy to get an American number. Do you know what I'm talking about, EB?
Yes, I understand.
If you don't know, you can contact me. I'll tell you how to do this stuff. You get an American number. It's literally like $1 a month, like literally, and they can text you like people so that they come. They can use messengers, right? That people can get you there. If you're really right now slow, right? Go to Google, right, and put in Google search, right? I want to go to Jamaica. What was your Jamaica experience? How is Jamaica? Have you ever been to Jamaica? What should I worry about going to Jamaica? Crime rate in Jamaica, right? Is it dangerous in Jamaica? What place should I avoid in Jamaica, right? All those search terms will bring you through a lot of travel websites like Expedia and similar, where people write reviews. Below those reviews, you will find people comments, all right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna comment like, listen, don't be afraid of Jamaica. I'm a tour operator. I will come pick you up from your hotel in this beautiful car. Go check out my website or whatever. Find me on Google, Google me, EB, whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like you have a, EB Lion. I'm sure if I Google it, it's probably only you come up if you do it the right way. You know, through the comments online, because a lot of people before they go for the first time they search this stuff, and there's going to be a lot of first time goers there again. Now people are going to research hotels, what's open, what's closed. You know what I mean? And your word of mouth business is going to come back, everything is going to come back. But one of the things online what you can do is what I'm offering you right now, is to comment on other people post, on those travel websites such as Expedia and whatever else is in the world. Do you feel what I'm saying, Gaby? Do you need clarification?
I'm understanding exactly what you are saying, and
Okay,
think
so
about the number. I think that's a good thing
yes,
because yes.
yeah, people come. Look, right now, a lot of Americans, most Americans come to Jamaica, right? A lot of Americans have free roaming. They come with their American numbers, right? They don't know how to text other numbers. They don't know how to do all this stuff. They don't want to figure out what plus whatever to dial, right? They want to use Instagram Messenger. They want to use Facebook Messenger. They want to come. They want to find your website, right? What you could do is probably, I gotta check. I haven't done it in a while, but you could probably, I don't know if they still have it available on Facebook. They used to be available on Facebook, like to advertise to people who just arrive in certain area, but not regular in this area. So you would advertise to people that come to Jamaica through Facebook ads, which is not that expensive probably. They used to have an option to advertise to people that just come to an area. Same thing with Google, right? People gonna look Google tours, right? I understand that tour operators inside the hotel take the most of the business. So while you're in pandemic, you gotta put that plan. EB, where'd you go? EB disappeared on me.
I don't know what's happening. There was another
Uh,
speaker earlier, Vitali, that disappeared as well. So
yeah, it happens. Bad service and it kicks you out to the hallway. I wanted to give him the last nugget. EB, come back. Well,
I'm sure he will come
hopefully,
back. So if you want to
hopefully
hold that
he,
thought, yeah.
hopefully. Let's move on because we don't know when he's gonna be back. So
Thank you, Vitali, and to the other panel members who contributed. Okay, so next we're going to move on to Mohammed. Mohammed, can you put your question to the panel, please? Mohammed? Okay, we'll move on to Mustafa.
Hello everyone, this is Mustafa. Thanks for letting me in. Let me introduce myself first. I'm a public relations professional for about 8 years now, and I'm an author of a published book called Email Etiquette Rules, talking about email writing profession. A couple of questions. The first one is that I already published my book, and our biggest Egyptian book fair will be this month, and I know that I'm late, but I didn't make the marketing campaign till now, so I don't have enough time, but I don't know what to do to reach my goal, selling my book in this book fair. So please help me in this matter. The second question is that I've been out of social media for about 4 years. So I want to work now on my personal branding, and I don't know how to do it because I lost many people of my network. So I have to start it all over from scratch. So if you give me some tips and tricks to improve my strategies in my personal branding. This is my question. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone on the panel that can take this? Perhaps if you could just reframe your question, just put it as quick as possible.
Jackie?
Yes.
Yeah, hello. Okay, so here's a simple way to start with regard to your personal brand. What I'd like you to do, and you don't obviously have to do it right this second, is I want you to think of 5 to 6 words that you would use to describe yourself in terms of how you want the world to see you and understand how you relate to the world. For instance, are you serious? Are you funny? Are you outgoing? Are you professional? What are the words that you would use to describe yourself? Because this is where your personal brand will emanate from. It's those words that when people see your comments, when people hear you speak, when people see you before you even say a word, what are the things that you want them to think about you? Because that's where your personal brand starts. They're the things that people think about you, see of you, consider about you, so that even when you're not around and they think of you, that's who you are. That's who you are to them. You know, in my case, I'm a creative guy, so I always like to lead with that. I'm a very empathetic, enthusiastic guy. These are words that I use to describe myself so that when people come in contact with me, that's how I want them to perceive me when they're with me. And when they're no longer with me, they've left the meeting that I'm in, they're not hearing me speak. These are the things I want them to think about me when I'm no longer present. And that is the essence of where your personal brand starts. And your personal brand should be very related to your business brand, because when it's not, then you create dissonance and you create uncertainty. He's one way when I see him, but his business is something else. His business says this, but he says this. You want those to be consistent. You want them to match each other. So when you do posts on social media, they should match those 5 or 6 words that you use to describe yourself. When you go out and speak in public, if you speak on your topic or you're representing your brand to investors or potential customers, those are the words that they should think of when they think about you. And it's very, very important to consistently be aware of those words, write them down, make sure you understand what they mean, and make sure all the communication that you have, both verbally, written, and non-verbally, when people just see your picture, they just see your photo, they read your posts and your marketing materials, that they all begin to match those words that you would use to describe yourself. That is the essence of where your personal branding starts, and everything should grow from those words. But everything should be consistent there, because then we get what you're putting out, and what you're putting out matches what we think of when we think of you. Otherwise, you create uncertainty. This is Glenn. I'm done speaking.
If I can interject here. Sorry, Vitality. I had a call and I temporarily went off the stage. Sorry about that.
AB, DM me so we don't interrupt the stage, and I'll give you a 10-minute free call.
All right, thank you so much.
I actually book on my calendar free call, and we're gonna have a video call for free, 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ibby, I'm just going to move you back down to the audience, but thank you for coming back. And we get back to Mustafa. Thank you.
Mustafa, was that helpful to you in terms of creating your personal brand?
Yes, Glenn, thank you so much for your advice. It helped me. I'll work on these 6 words right now. Or whatever was the number, I will do this.
And please feel free to get in touch with me if you'd like to review those, and we can talk about exactly what it is you're trying to do and why those words are important to you and which ones you're choosing. You can find me on Instant Messenger, and we could certainly have a quick call, Zoom call or a phone call. This is Glenn. I'm done speaking.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
That's great, Glenn. Thank you. So, do you feel served, Mustafa?
Sorry?
Do you feel served by the panel?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. Thank you for coming up and asking your question, and I'm just going to move you back down. So next we have Sonny. Are you there, Sonny?
Yes, please.
Can you put your question to the panel in 60 seconds, starting with my question is? Thank you, Sonny.
Sure. So my question is basically, I have this website ready, and the business of the website is basically providing probably a non-technical people who want to learn how to build products using no-code tools like Zapier, Webflow, probably Shopify as well. But the challenge is I have my website ready. It's kind of still in the beta phase, but I am having a struggle to probably sell it online. I'm not okay. I understand what is sales funnel, but I don't know where to begin with and probably start from a social media. So I'm aware of my customer bio, customer persona, but I don't know where to start with. So if anyone has any suggestions, that'll be very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonny. Is there anyone on the panel that would like to come in on this? Angela, are you available?
I can say something if
Yes.
there is nobody else contributing. I think if you are not an expert on digital marketing, you need to find somebody who can help you on that, because not everybody can do everything. At the beginning, when we started business, yes, we tried to do the social media expert, the accountant, the bookkeeper, the marketer, everything. We try to do everything ourselves. But if you want to grow your business, then you need to build a team. And especially under the situation that we are now, probably for what I heard, one of the priorities that you may have is hire a digital marketer and an IT person, or probably can be a virtual assistant at the beginning if you don't have enough budget. A virtual assistant that can tick the boxes to help you to register. For example, there are a lot of platforms out there. You can register with Kajabi or ClickFunnels or Lead Pages. These are platforms that can very easy help you to provide to your community that sales page that you want to create. Then if you are good on writing the content and you know what exactly you want to provide, you can try it yourself. At the beginning, to be honest, I did myself. And when I hired a copywriter later, said, "Oh, who did your pages?" I said, "Me." I said, "If you want to change your career, tell me, because you have done a good job." But that was my passion. But I had the passion on writing, but I was not good on IT or digital marketing, or I I never understood. I did a lot of trainings, for example, in Infusionsoft. So now it's called Keep. You may need that as well because you need to store the data there. How it works, just to make it simple and practical, is if you sign up in one of these platforms, for example, ClickFunnels or Infusion or Lead Pages or Kajabi or Influencer.com. There are so many platforms out there. You can create the pages, the sales, the sales page or the landing pages, but then you need to create an opt-in page where when people come to your landing page, you invite them to sign up for something, and the data goes somewhere. Now, where the data goes, I mentioned earlier, if you really want to make this professional, probably I would not suggest MailChimp, but I would suggest, for example, Infusionsoft for now. That is what many people are using. And you can store all the data in the Infusionsoft, and you need an expert, because I'm telling you, I've done a lot of trainings in Infusionsoft. I understood a little bit, but if you are not an expert on that part, you may need to hire somebody who does both, who does the email campaign and creates the sales page for you. So I would say don't do it yourself if you are not good on that, but you can find these people on Upwork, Fiverr, people per hour, and know what you're looking for. Look for the criteria. You can for example, search for a digital marketer or a copywriter, or you can look for a virtual assistant that can have a little bit of everything. A virtual assistant can be based everywhere, and you just need to tell all the specifics, what you exactly you're looking for. And again, if you manage to do that, then as you grow, for example, now I have moved from Infusionsoft, I have created my own software, and I store all my data on Amazon. But I don't need to know everything, and this is what you probably can keep in your mind. And when you start your business, you don't need to know everything. You just hire experts that are better than you in these specific areas, and you are the visionary. And as you grow your business, there is a book what I would suggest to everybody if you really want to run a successful business.
Right.
Is a book called Traction, and that is really like a manual for all the business owners. In a business, there are two core people: is the visionary and the integrator. So if you are the visionary for your business, probably what you can do, you can just hire an integrator who you just go and share all the ideas. I have this idea, I have this vision, I want to do this. And then you find somebody who understands your vision and can implement your ideas. So I hope that helps. And if you need more, I'm running online training on Thursday, how to start a business and take it global. If somebody in the audience would like to join, I can send you a link to get a complimentary ticket. Thank you. This is Mirela.
Thank you, Mirella. Angela.
Yeah, hi. You know what? I came in on the tail end of. I'm sorry. I hate when people do this. I'm like, what was the question again? But I think I have the answer possibly. But can you just reiterate your question one more time?
Sure. So basically, I am creating a no code platform. It's like a community to help no coders who don't know anything about, who don't have any technical knowledge. But I understand that I have my platform ready. I'm giving a step by step tutorials to each different platforms like Airtable, Zapier, Webflow, you name it. But the challenge that I'm facing is to bring it to the market. Like, I don't know how to start off with. I don't know what framework to follow that, from a sales landing page. I just don't know regarding that. So that's my question.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, what I was going to say, what I would do is if you don't have any customers yet, and this is something new that you're bringing to market, the first thing that came to my mind was to start a Facebook group. And you can get people into that Facebook group that basically want to learn these things, and you can start to basically do Facebook lives or drop trainings into the Facebook group. So it sounds like you need a platform where you could be. I mean, I think it seems like you want to get customers, and then eventually is it going to be like, are you going to do like a one-to-many, or is it going to be a one-on-one, or are you planning on building a course? Like, of those three things, where do you see your business going?
So definitely one to many. One to many, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think, and also maybe to kind of the other thing to do is to try and look to see who you could collaborate with as well. And Clubhouse, you're new to Clubhouse, welcome, by the way. This is a great platform. You're going to be able to network with a ton of people, and there are going to be people that are going to be really interested in knowing about your services and stuff. And I think that that's another thing. Always look like laterally who you could be collaborating with, and there are definitely some rooms, you know, like centered around the tech stuff. And a lot of people definitely want to learn about the tech. But I mean, initially, I would say you need to like, it's like you basically, you have this idea, you have this expertise, but you need to launch it to like an audience. So like where you have to like find where your people are, like kind of think about it, put your thinking cap on and do some research. Where are your people and where could you start to add value and basically drop knowledge? And that way you start to, you know, you need to basically build yourself up as the expert, the go-to person for all these trainings for the Zapier and the Airtable and all that kind of stuff. And you know, another way to do that is to go into Facebook groups that already exist, like that, or already like have people. I don't know what they would be called. You know your industry better than I do, but going onto Facebook and seeing where you just kind of want to see where these people are hanging out and join the conversation and answer questions. And a good thing to do is that you could go to a Facebook group, like the head the moderator of the group, the founder of the Facebook group, or the person who moderates the group or started it, and tell them about, if this is a group of where you think your clientele are hanging out, and tell them, hey, I'd like to offer a free training to your, I think the thing is initially it's about offering value, offering some free trainings to start to build credibility and then start to get testimonials. And then you need to, then after that, you need to map out, that's the first thing. And then after that, well, actually, maybe it's not 100% the first. It is the first thing, but I think you do want to map out a client journey, because the thing is that, like to what Mirella was saying, like you want to, like the bottom line is once people, they know, like, and trust you, and they're like, yeah, this guy has great information, I want to go deeper, you need to have what's called like a sales funnel. So I think you need to map out that journey, and it's really best to get some type of, because I've been through it, and I've like learned from people, I learned on my own, I had a coach, like I went through like the whole gamut of it. And there are a lot of dots to connect. That's too much to go over now in this conversation, but you need someone that's going to help you with what are the exact, like identifying what platforms you need to be on, a CRM, an ESP, like email service provider, how you get payments, all that. So there is a lot of dots to connect. So you probably want to get with someone, and there are a lot of those people on Clubhouse, by the way. So you definitely reach out as you start going into different rooms and learning, see the people that you like and reach out to them, because you definitely, as much as you want to be building your authority, you also want to be giving a frictionless way for people to buy from you with, an offer and a call to action. So I think I said a lot, but I hope you understood it. And it's really just the beginning, but it's great that you're asking the questions, and it's a learning curve, and you'll get there. Good luck to you, Sunny. This is Angela. I'm
Thank
done
you.
speaking.
Thank you. I think this was very helpful, even from what Mirella said, and even what you just said right now. I think the challenge that I initially screwed up with is where I just went on Facebook and I started selling instead of providing a free service and the start to build the brand. I got this point. Thank you very much.
Thank
Hi,
you,
Sonny.
Sunny.
It's Paul here. Hello,
Oh,
Jackie.
hey, Paul.
Can I come in briefly? Yeah.
Of course you
Hi,
can.
Sonny. Paul here.
Hi, Paul.
I'm one of the people that my colleague just spoke before me was referring to. So I help my clients to map out. It's what you need is a lean canvas, effectively, which is mapping out exactly every single step from A to Z to take the business that's in your head and get it functioning, and taking people from not knowing about it to being a paying client in the community using the product. And if you need any help, I'll give you a free call, and on that call I will outline the steps you need to take, and I will recommend to you the best value, lowest cost providers, so that you can leave there with a little list of where you're going to get the very best deals that do the job so that you financially can achieve what you need to without having to spend more than necessary. If you want to do that, send me a DM. I'll happily give you a free call, and you leave with a strategy, my friend.
Sure,
Okay.
that'll be helpful. That'll be helpful.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Paul. That was great. So Sunny, do you feel served by the panel?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jackie.
You're so welcome. And again, welcome to Clubhouse. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to come back. Okay, I'm going to try Susu once more. Susu, are you there? Okay. Ahmed, over to you. Do you have a question for the panel?
Yes. Hello, my name is Ahmed. I own a company specialized in food import and export. So basically, my company exports food from Egypt to the UK. I'm now starting my company, so I'm having some difficulties to reach out food suppliers in the UK. Basically, what's the best method to do that? Is it to like pop up to the suppliers, or just like call them? Or what should I do?
Okay. Did anybody want to come in on that one? Do you need the question reframed?
Reframe the
Perhaps.
question.
Yeah, thanks, Angela. Ahmed, can you just very quickly, in about 60 seconds, say my question is and reframe your question, please?
My question is how to what's called how to direct or how to reach out the suppliers in the UK. It's a food import company, so how to reach out the suppliers, the food suppliers in the UK.
Angela, was that helpful?
Oh my God. You know what? I just got a text and I was reading it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Okay.
this is
Frederick.
Frederick. Yeah, how you
Yes,
doing?
thank you, Frederick.
All right, so you want to know how to reach out to suppliers in the UK. Can I ask you a couple of questions just to kind of get some more context?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so you said you have a food distribution company. What exactly is your business?
Yeah, so basically, it exports food from Egypt to the UK, like tea, pasta, and cheese, and other spices as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And who is your target? Is it larger retail grocery stores? Is it boutique, for instance, like Egyptian restaurants or
Uh,
delis or things like that? Who are
I
you trying
think
to target?
first we're gonna target wholesale suppliers.
So the wholesalers will sell to these other distributors, these
Yeah,
grocery stores, etc.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So there's a couple of things that I would look at. I would look at trade associations in the UK. I would also look at contacting the government. So the British government will have, and I don't know the name. I apologize, but there is a trade responsible for handling that. But associations, there'll likely be some red tape and things like that. But what you want to be able to take from that is that distribution list or that those contact points. The other thing is that you can look, you can look on Facebook, you can look on LinkedIn, you can Google different trade associations that are associated with that, and try and find a few of those contact points as well. And I'm trying to think of who I know in the UK that will be helpful in this regard. I have to admit this is not my crack area, but in this case, I do think Google would be your friend in just finding different resources, and you're going to have to do a little bit of the legwork to track that down. But once you do find one or two of those touch points, then you can start reaching out and contacting people and starting to build relationships. The other thing is I would utilize Clubhouse in a major way. I would look and see if any of those people that you're coming across, either on LinkedIn, in these different trade associations, etc. I would search in the search bar using those keywords, and I would try and find some of those people who are connected in this way, follow them, get into rooms with them, and then build relationships with them. You could also send them DMs directly on Instagram, letting them know what you're up to, etc. I would also look at how I can build relationships directly with some retailers. That actually, to be honest with you, it would probably be easier to find people in grocery stores, etc. Although you want the wholesalers, that's a great way to go. But having a relationship directly with these people, even if they say, well, we just deal with the wholesalers directly, they're likely to be able to put you in contact with the person that deals with them directly, right? So you skip having to get the runaround and try and track these people down. So sometimes it's actually faster to go straight to the source. So looking at the top 5, 10 retail chains, looking at different restaurants, etc. And if you make enough phone calls, you'll figure out who those wholesalers are, and they'll be able to start. You'll be able to pinpoint who those people are, track down a name, and again, I would do the same thing about Clubhouse, LinkedIn, to be able to build a relationship and contact that person directly. But in this case, I would want to cast as wide a net as possible because you're likely to have to contact people and make multiple contacts. Clubhouse is just a great shortcut because it allows you to be in conversation with people in a much shorter span of time. So hopefully that's valuable for you. Is that helpful?
Yeah, Frederick, thank you so much.
Awesome. This is Frederick, and I'm complete. Ever forward.
Thank
Ahmed,
you for
this
that,
is
Frederick.
Vitali on second row above Jack in a red circle without red lipstick. Ahmed, where are you located?
I'm based in London.
London. Okay. All right. So then I don't have to even explain to you anything. How did you get into the food business?
Um, my family used to be in the same business, but different countries. So they used to target different countries. So I want to target the UK.
What kind of food is this? Is it perishable or something that's not perishable? Canned?
Both,
I don't know. Okay,
both.
so you want to bring food from another country into United Kingdom, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I always tell people that, you know, I see you have no idea what you're doing. The reason I'm saying you have no idea what you're doing is because if you don't know the distributors, it means you never work United Kingdom a day in a company, right? Because I'm pretty sure, just like any other country, like United States, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of regulations about bringing food from another country, right? I would recommend, because you're gonna come to those distributors, they're not gonna buy anything from you. Because even like in the United States, there's somebody has to be responsible of that. They gotta find those people. The food is not that easy to bring, and I'm sure in UK it's just as many regulations. My advice to you would be first step is to find a job in the industry and understand how it works. Yeah, you'll reach out to them. You'll be like, I have this great tasting food, but nobody's gonna take their time to bring it because they don't wanna, they don't wanna deal with your business, right? Is that food manufacturing, is it your family business, or you want to be a third party of connecting product to people to distribute in United Kingdom, or your family makes the food?
No, it's like I have like my family. They have connection with the food suppliers in Egypt. So
Okay,
they,
so you
they
know what's gonna happen? I got it. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna bring something good to distribute in UK. They're not gonna need you. They're gonna cut you off, and they're gonna call with a big order if it tastes good. And they're gonna figure out because you want the distributor to do the work for you, to do the customs, to do all the legal stuff in the country. You know what I mean? They're not gonna need you. What happens in the United States, the people that make money is they become the distributor. They become the responsible party. They put the American labels on it. They put the ingredients. They send it to FDA for testing. There's a lot of things that are going on with food. I'm sure same things going on in UK and any other country. My recommendation to you would be is to understand how this works and not to bring this is food. You know what I mean? If you were bringing chachkas, that would probably be easy. With food, the ship is not going to talk to you. It's too much headache. Get into the business, work for somebody, understand how this works, or at least find a mentor in a space, something like that. You're gonna fail if you're just gonna try to bring the food and be like, oh, this is great, great tasting, whatever the type is, buy it from me. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope this helps, but get
Yeah.
some experience in the industry in your country, because you need to know exactly how your country operate, how the customs operate. Nobody wants food from another country to freaking kill everybody. Not everything you can bring into your country. Figure this
No,
out. Thank you for listening.
I
You got it, brother.
understand. Yeah, I understand.
Hopefully this helps you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Vitali. Always putting the
I
voice
I,
of
I hope I'm
reason.
worthy of my award of business killer and dream killer.
You're not a dream killer, you're just a realist sometimes, Vitali, and people need to hear that too. So, Ahmed, was that all helpful for you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming up and asking your question. I'm just going to
Hi
chuck you
guys, I
back
have a
down
question.
into the audience. If you can wait your time, Kay, we'll come to you when it's your turn. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And for anyone pushing up their hand in the audience, just to remind you, we do not bring up anyone on stage that has no information in their bio. So click on your own profile and put in some information so that we know you are not a bot and that you're a genuine person. Thank you. So now we are, Gwen, are you there, Gwen? Okay, I'm going to move over to Genius. Are you there?
Yeah, hi. Genius is here.
Hey,
Hi,
can you
guys.
frame your question to the panel, please, in 60 seconds? Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, my name is Precious, and I run a mobile detailing service in Ottawa here in Canada. And it started off in Calgary, actually, just as a side business. I had no idea it was going to grow to the point that it is right now. And it's growing to the point that I'm getting really busy. I had to hire somebody else. But I'm realizing that my online presence is starting to decline. I'm not getting as many calls. I do provide very top quality service. My Google reviews on my Google profile are 5 star. So I'm just talking in here today to see if I can get some tips from you guys on how to really solidify my business and move to the next step. Um, I've been doing a lot of word to mouth. Um, I've been doing a lot of paid ads on Facebook and Google and Instagram. My Instagram presence is pretty solid as well. But I think I'm at the point where I need to do something to just make my online presence felt better. I get people telling me when they search for detailing, my name shows up in the very bottom on Google. I'm currently using Square Up for my website and my e-commerce space. So any kind of tip, advice would be greatly appreciated.
Excellent. Is there anyone on the panel that would like Ram? Thank you, Ram. And then Paul.
Thanks, Jackie. All right. Hey, Genius Auto. Cool name. My name's Ram. So, do you have Google Analytics set up, first of all? I assume you do.
I do.
Okay. You know how there's a tab, I'm not sure where, but somewhere in there there's the conversions path.
hmm
Have you seen where your conversions are coming from?
So I recently actually just got Google Analytics, and I haven't really used it too much. But so some of these terms that you might be mentioning might be foreign to me. So I will definitely take note of them and start, playing around with those terms.
Okay. So something you want to do is you want to make sure that you are at least getting some type of analytics around what your return on ad spend is.
Okay.
So you mentioned that you've got you've got some obviously, so you've got great photos, you've got organic content happening. What you really want to find is how much is it costing for your ad spend against the conversion. So you might find out that it's costing you between $5 to $10 to convert a customer. Okay, so you've got to really find which of the creative and messaging is currently working. you've got to find that sweet spot where it is viable for you to do that. So step number one is making sure that you're testing this creative, seeing it's doing okay. You've got to really find and tweak and test. Once you get to the sweet spot of the right audience segmentation, or what we call lookalike audiences, you're going to double down on what's working. I know that almost seems super obvious, but until you get to that, then you haven't really found that return on ad spend. The other thing I would suggest is don't only rely on the because you've already started. I was going to say, don't only rely on the social media activities for customer acquisition. Get incentivized programs in place. Number one, to your customers that have already bought from you. I don't know if you have any loyalty programs in place, or if you've even considered that. But there's the best way to make a sort of an income on your current customers is to really offer your existing customers something that is the next graduated sort of service. So, you've got to look at this as a customer journey that is a lifetime. You don't want it to be just, okay, detailing, plain and simple. How often's that? What, once a year, once every 6 months, at best, once every 3 months. You've got to look at these entry level customers, to layers to this, not punch jab. You got to find, how can I of my current, for the one time they become aware with you and they consider you. That's this social media play that you're playing now. You've got to also now consider, beyond optimizing for that, you're going to now consider, what can I do with my current customers to come back for something else, something more. They've already tasted a bit of, how good your service is. So that's the other thing: loyalty, and advocacy, and get them to incentivize them, reward them if they can invite their friends or their network. There's going to be other incentives there that I think is outside of your social media play. I hope that helps, mate. This is Ram.
Yeah, thank you, Ram. And I wanted to say I do have Google Ads, and I just pulled up my Google Ads profile, looking at the last ad that I ran recently. I had to pause it because I didn't think it was giving me the results that I was getting. It cost me about $50. I got about 7,000 impressions, 36 clicks to the website, and the average CPC was about $1.36. So I think I need to do some work in the information that I'm putting in the ads. And the other thing I wanted to talk about with the loyalty programs, every now and then I'll send out emails to my customers giving them big discounts. And I do get a lot of return clients, which is great, which is what I want. But I don't want to have to be constantly going in to put out ads. Like, I have a Google profile, people look up my name and they find me. And it sometimes, depending on how close you are to where I am, if you type in detail in Ottawa, you would find me. But if you're in I don't know, 15 kilometers away from me, you're not going to find me. So it's that online presence on Google, on, SEOs and all that stuff that I'm really trying to improve.
So, Genius, on that, do you know what the conversion path is? Are they coming from Google search? It will say it on Google Analytics if it is, and this is very important, because if it's not, it's going to show that it's coming from Facebook, for example. So on the left-hand panel there, find the I think it's about 4 or 5 tabs down. It'll expand, and then it says something like conversion path. Anyway, you don't have to do it now, but that's my point. And also, you've got to find the conversion rate. It doesn't matter if there's 7,000 clicks per customer CPC, but you've got to find, of those 7,000 that clicked, which is costing you $1 something, how much of them are actually converting and buying from you. That is the most important rate, the conversion rate.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, I can share more later. Just DM me. Cheers.
Sure, for sure.
Thank you so much, Ram. Over to you, Paul.
Thank
Are you there,
thinking
Paul?
complementary ways. Hi,
You're
genius.
breaking up, Paul.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. But if you
Can
could
you
speak
hear
up,
me?
though, yeah, if you could speak up, you're a bit distant.
Okay. Okay. Right. How's that? Is that any better?
Slightly.
Is that volume any better? Let me just...
Have you changed your audio settings to high?
No, but I'm just about to. I'm going to, so I'll just do that now. I've taken my earphones off. Has that made it any better?
Yes, it has. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah,
You keep
is that all
cutting.
right?
You keep cutting out there, Paul.
Oh, flipping heck. Okay, guys. So if it becomes, just tell me if it's ridiculous and like it's cutting out every third word or whatever, and I'll have to catch Genius offline. I was saying, I always like sharing with when Ram does because we're complementary in our thinking. So Genius, everything Ram's giving you is crucial. I'm going to come from a slightly different angle. I see that you've branded yourself a bit like me. I brand myself as the #1 sales coach in the UK. You branded yourself the #1 auto dealer in Ottawa. How do you? What content do you create that demonstrates why you're #1 and why you're the best? And your storytelling. What do you actually to tell that story?
I take really close. I also take before and after shots. I'm doing. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of reels. I'm doing a lot of videos now. I just started really hiring people as well to take professional pictures for me, and I'm now trying to set up my Instagram shop and things like that so that I can tag my services and products when I post the pictures, making sure I'm using the right keywords and the hashtags as well.
Okay, you're doing some really good foundation work, Genius. Now we can take that to a higher level without any money and without a great deal of extra time. But one thing is need to know is what is your unique value proposition, Genius? What is it?
I don't think I understand that question.
Okay, no worries. If you don't, then that's neither good nor bad. It's just a fact.
Hmm.
A unique value proposition, UVP, very important in the business world. If you've not, if you're not aware of it, I don't want to go into a big coaching session now because you, we've got to be conscious of time. But two
Okay.
things I'll say in my Instagram bio is a whole Trello board full of tools that are for this room and the guests of this room, all the things people ask for and that I cover. It's all in there and it's free. You're not signing up to my list or anything. You just take it. And in there, it's all alphabetical, so you'll be able to look for unique value proposition. And there's a how-to. There's a step-by-step blueprint in there. And what you then need to do is to once you've identified your unique value proposition, is to create something called demand generation marketing, which is post a day, preferably you on video telling a story about your unique value proposition and how it benefited a customer. So you got true stories of customer experiences and then some cautionary tales. Customers who bought elsewhere, you don't name the competitor, but people who didn't buy from you and what happened there. So you're telling stories consistently, all about your unique value proposition. That no one else does this. The reason you should buy from me is because I'm the only dealer that does this, and the unique value proposition is something that they want and will pay for. What happens is after about 30 days of consistently doing a story sell post on video with you, nothing else going on, you will find that you will have generated inbound pre-sold leads who are sold on you, your story, and your unique value proposition, and they're ready to buy a car. But you've got to stick at it for 30 days, and it might get laborious. And some days it's a pain in the ass because you're not in the mood. But if you stick with it, after 3 to 4 weeks, you'll start to see the website hits, the inquiries started to come in. When you've done that, you'll know the blueprint, and you can delegate it to somebody and give them the blueprint, show them the videos and say, I want you to replicate that. As long as you keep it going, you will still continue to attract a flow of leads, maybe 2 or 3 a day, but 2 or 3 pre-sold leads a day means a couple of extra cars a week. Would that help you?
Yes, absolutely. And I will take do more research into the unique value
Yeah,
proposition that you
so if you
talked about.
combine what Ram told you about all the online intelligence with this technique, you're going to have very robust online and offline strategies, which, when combined, will address any lead issues, which of course will then address your revenue issues. So every success to you. Thank you. Thanks, Jack.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Angelo, you were flashing. Were you chatting or did you want to come in?
No, I wanted to jump in. Yeah, no,
Oh,
I definitely had some insight to share. Thank you, Jackie, and thanks for what everybody said. What I wanted to say is I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach, and I'm going to say old school, because from what I understood, you have this, you kind of go around and you detail people's car at their home, but now your leads have dried up. Did I get that right?
So, it hasn't dried up as like that. It's just like my Google page. I'm not getting calls from Google anymore. Like I get people talking to me on Instagram, and other avenues. Just not getting like calls from Google. 'Cause that's where my phone number is and my email address. It is on Google, but I'm just not like my phone isn't ringing as much as it used to anymore. And
Got
this
it.
is the time it should because it's summer.
I understand. And I have a question. Are you the sole proprietor? You're the one that physically does the work, or you have a team?
I have another guy assisting me right now, and so because I have a full-time job as well, I had to cancel cancel jobs when they called earlier. But now that I have this guy, I need more work so I can give him work. You know what I mean?
I do. You know what? I'm thinking, because this is regional, because this is in a small area, I feel like I would take a more grassroots approach. I would be making flyers. I would be
Mm,
going to big malls where there's tons of cars, or maybe they're not now in the malls anymore, but you know what I'm saying? Go in the shopping
yeah,
centers, go in the parking lots, go in the towns where people are parked on the street. I would go old school, like
yeah.
PI, like, pre-internet, and I would approach it from that standpoint. And the other thing is, I would also, if you have any local dealers in the area that
Hmm.
are selling cars, I would bring them, some muffins or some donuts one day, walk in
Right,
jolly with, and make an introduction, and, sell them with your winning, sparkling personality and the amazing work that you do. The other
right.
thing I want to say is, I just quickly, in the nutshell, unique selling proposition is like, what are you doing differently than anybody else? Why are you head and shoulders above the competition, and why should I buy from you? That, in the nutshell, a very quick answer is, what is your unique selling proposition?
Gotcha.
So, and the other thing, so yeah, I mean, that those are just like off the top of I mean, honestly, like, even if you go into, like, even driving, I mean, I don't know, does it seem creepy, but even like driving into like a high net worth area and, like, just like leaving your flyer, like, and the other thing I'm going to say, I don't know if you have this in Canada. You said you're in Canada. I know here we have TaskRabbit, like in the States. I'm in the
Mm,
United States. Maybe you can put yourself on a TaskRabbit, like, and what's your task? That you come and detail the car. Like, are
mm.
there some other platforms that you can get on that already have an audience that are looking for a service like this? So
Okay.
those would be the way I would be looking at it. I mean, obviously digital is great and whatever, but I just think like that, to me, is like really tangible. And I
Yeah.
think you could maybe see a result pretty quickly. So those are just some of I mean, I'm an idea generator. That should be me, Angela, the idea generator. No, but seriously, I just come up with all these ideas, but those were the first things that just tumbled out of my mind. So,
Yeah.
and your Instagram looks great. Oh, one other thing, actually, being
Uh-huh.
on the idea generator, I'll land on this. The other thing you can do as far as revenue, generating revenue, what I've seen, we didn't do this in the old days. We didn't have success at something for like a few years, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, whatever it was, 5 years. And then all of a sudden we build a course and teach other people how to do what we just did.
Absolutely.
We never did that back in the day. But
Hmm.
now that's what everybody does. They have success doing something. Oh, I'm running a beauty salon, and now I'm going to teach you how to run a beauty salon. So we're going to do a course, we're going to do a mastermind, we're going to do this and this. So the other thing is another way, if now that you're building this business, is this a business that's replicatable that you could teach others how to do based on your success? This is how I did it. I went and put flyers in the parking lot. No, I'm just making it up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's another way to generate revenue is teach people how to do the business that you, well, and the other thing is, I don't know. I mean, you said detail cars, so you're not like painting on them or anything. You're just basically like making sure they're like look in perfect shape, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say I really resonate with everything that you said, Angela. From going door to door, or even going to meet detailers to hand out flyers and business cards. That really is my approach. That's what I used to do before COVID hit. And so I thought, okay, now I can't really just be going around spreading diseases or whatever. So I just started to focus more on online business. And it seems like, I don't know, maybe it's possible for me to go out now and start handing out these flyers again. And it was work. And the other thing that you mentioned, you're talking about introducing classes and things like that. You've really just solidified my intentions, because just very recently I did a training course for one of my clients. He called me in to do a training for him, and then he ended up paying for more services besides just the training. So with those two things, thanks for solidifying that. I will try to push more in those areas. And thank you.
Yeah, I think no, and I'm sorry, Michelle, you want to go? I'll just end on this. Also think outside the box about businesses you could be going to. I said car dealerships. Are there law firms that have like 50 lawyers in your area? Lawyers probably drive nice cars. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like think about where are the people that have the nice cars and how can I get in front of them? So I'm just going to land on that. I wish you all the success. This is
Thank
Angela.
you.
I'm done speaking.
Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. Michelle, over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. Everyone has given such awesome advice. And I've been looking at your website, and I just have some quick tips for your website. When I'm looking at it, the above the fold is perfect. So what I'm looking at immediately when I hop on. But as soon as I start scrolling, it's like I have to read a book,
Mm,
and it's becomes very overwhelming.
mm,
So even on that first page, for example, where you have your advanced interior detailing package,
right.
and then you have all of the, basically bullet points, I
Right.
would make it obvious that it's bullet points, because at first I was like, oh my God, I am not going to read all of that. And then I was like, oh wait, it's bullet points, right?
Yeah.
So make that a little bit obvious. But what I
Okay.
would do before doing that is take that circle picture and either put advanced interior detailing package on top of that circle
Mm,
or underneath of it, and make it clickable. So
mm,
that way it's, hey, if I want advanced interior detailing package, I'll click on that. I'll see all the details and then book.
gotcha.
Because basically the less scrolling that someone's going to have to do, the
Right.
better for you.
Okay.
Put, just one quick little tagline for advanced interior detailing on what they might want to do.
Mhm.
Then as you scroll all the way down, let me see, on the homepage, there is a ton of testimonials, which
Right.
that is good to have that,
Yeah.
but the way it's laid out on the web page is really, really overwhelming.
Okay.
So I would do something like at the top where you have your testimonials where people can click and then check all those out.
Yeah.
That's good. So on
Okay.
your home page, make it a slider banner is what it's
Mm,
called.
mm.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Okay. So then that way, again, it's less scrolling.
Right.
And then basically, just to touch off of Angela gave me an idea. I know several detailing companies that will go to law firms, corporate businesses, banks, and they will detail someone's car while they're working.
Hmm.
And I mean, me personally, when I was in that, in that line of work, it was amazing because I didn't have to worry about having to drop my car off, wait, and all that,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So this is Michelle in the Blue. Hopefully some of that helped, and I am finished speaking.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Jackie, can I add one last thing?
Sure, but we need to move
Sure,
on. But
sure.
thanks,
Yeah.
Angela.
No, it's just the beauty of Clubhouse. We're masterminding here. Like we're all like learning from one another, and everybody's sparking ideas in each other. This is a mastermind. That's the essence. Anyway, no. What I was going to say to you is there a way that you could do a recurring model, like that you get them to sign up for, detailing every month, and the other thing possibly is, can you get them to sign up for detailing on a recurring, so it's a recurring revenue model, and can you get them maybe in the interim, can you do a washing service just, in the interim of the detail? Like, because they don't, if they detail their car like once a month or once every 6 weeks, they're obviously probably washing it in between because you're not detailing, you're doing a full detail every week. So can you be offering a service where you're coming to just wash the car in the interim weeks and get everybody to commit to it early on, buy packages at a discount? That's it. I'm done. This is Angela.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
Vitali. I'm gonna jump in really quick.
Okay.
We're in the same business, except I have three largest house cleaning companies in New York. Not much difference between detailing and house cleaning. Same idea, looking for customers, same customers, going to law offices, actually, people that want to pay for their office to be cleaned daily and want to make sure their cleaners show up. I built a business out of a joke. You know, somebody told me that I cannot do it because I can only build, businesses, but I cannot build a business where Craigslist cleaners charge $10 an hour and I cannot charge 65, $70 an hour. Turned out to be not only that I can have three people working for me just alone, booking cleaning services. All right, that's all they do. Now, here's the interesting part, right? We grew those companies very quickly. Because this was a kind of a bad, I had to grow it with almost no money, just on my expertise in business that I acquired within 21 years being serial entrepreneur. This is the businesses that I currently own. They're growing. Actually, the joke turned out to be very profitable. But but let me tell you something. What you're trying to do is you want to get how you're gonna have 10 vans around thing. You see the difference? You're thinking how to get one guy. I'm one guy. Because if you start on a road to get you need to get. When you mention your Google ads, do you know what negative keywords are?
Actually, I've been seeing that recently, but I just don't know what they
Correct.
are.
So that's why your ads are being eaten up. It's when you try to do everything yourself and you don't pay the proper professionals, right? I have Google guys in house. You might want to hire somebody. You know what I mean? That's what happens with ads. This business is ads intensive, but your ads are being eaten up because you have negative keywords because your keywords don't work properly, and people put whatever words in your ads come up, and that's why nobody's clicking or people clicking on our website and your budget gets eaten up very quickly. All right, your Google My Pages, I look at it. Google Business My Pages is not set up correctly. Sorry about that. Google My Page is not set up correctly. You might want to
Okay.
hire a local professional to get it
Okay.
fixed for you. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? There are a number of issues you're having. You might need to hire a local professional to fix all these things. When you try to do everything yourself, you don't get to it.
Right.
Now, you probably do not have the right CRM set up and the right program set up to get the reminders and all these things. Sometimes I tell people, listen, you can work in one van for the rest of your life and hit that ceiling, or you can put your business on pause for a week, build it the right way, focus on having systems in place, and then moving forward. And those systems cost nothing. You know what I mean? They don't cost a lot of money. They cost literally hundreds of dollars, not even thousands, right? They just
Yeah.
have to be set up once and they work for you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And with that, you always get customers to come to you, and that's how you grow your company. Knowing what I know when I was starting my cleaning company, I started it the right way. That's why it grew. I didn't start the way you started it You probably started by word of mouth cleaning, and then whoever was calling, you're expanding, blah blah blah. You see what I'm saying? Look, if you want, I do those 10-minute consultations, not take up time. I'll tell you what I've done in my business. You know what I
Okay.
mean? If you slide into my DMs, I tell you what I've done, but you need to, sometimes it's better to put your business on pause and rebuild it or work nights and find the right people and build all the systems in place
Mm,
versus the way you're doing it. You're
mm,
just always looking either for new customers, you lose opportunities with existing customers, your Google ads not running, your Google My Page is not running properly. There's a lot of things you're missing, a lot of things not done the right way. You're just missing money where on things you already have set up on your current customers. Using your current clientele, you can expand. You know how many of our customers send us business because we tell them, if this is your referral code on our website, if your 10 friends sign up with us and have it do at least one clean, you get, you know, we give free deep clean. You know what I mean? You know how
yeah.
many people do that? Because a lot of our customers, they're like, all right, let me take a minute, put it on, I tell them, like, you don't have to put it in your Facebook page and tell them. People just throw it on the Facebook page, but we have things set up in place. We have things down for that. We set up an affiliate program, which costs us $29.99 a month. The third party company that takes care of all of that, right?
Right.
It's a software as a service. We pay them $29 a month. They handle all our affiliate stuff, right? It's a software where people put in their first name, last name, share the link on Facebook, their friends sign up. We see they get automatic an email that they earn a reward of one free deep clean.
Yes.
This is all need to be done. But if you don't do it, you will always think how to get this one person more work versus how to build 10 vans. If you want
Yeah.
to talk to me, DM me. I'm done speaking because we got to move on from this question.
Okay. Thank you very much. I just want to say one last thing. I appreciate everyone who spoke today, and the major reason why I'm here today because I believe it's a bunch of experienced people in here. I got money to pay for services. It's just a lot of people, a lot of local businesses offering SEO services here and there, sending me emails. I'm a results guy, and I just don't want to put the money in the wrong hands. And so I'll speak to one or two of you guys afterwards, and hopefully I can narrow this down to the right approach and get this going. Thank you guys.
You need systems, not just SEO. Systems. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you. So, Genius, you have indeed got a mastermind. So, thank you to all the panel who contributed. And I'm just going to tuck you back down into the audience, Genius. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those in the audience, just a reminder that I cannot bring you up on stage if you do not have something written in your profile. And for those that are on stage, if you keep yourself muted until I come to you, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so Gwen, do you have a question for the panel?
Good morning. I do have a question for the panel. I'm Gwen. I do financial services. I'm in Alabama, but I am trying to launch a couple of online services, and one of them is the matchmaking business. And I would love to have any assistance in any way. I have a strong passion for this. It's the story is too long, but I have a strong passion for this, but don't really know which direction to go in to get things started in the right way. So my question is for someone in that business, um, how can I simplify my system or a system to launch this business?
Thank you, Gwen. Who on the panel would like to take this? Paul, are you available?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, let's have a go. I'm going to need to do a little reiterate because I was multitasking. As you know, us men can't do that, so I've only got half of the picture in my mind. So please forgive me. It sounds like, am I right that you're starting effectively a dating type service, or am I way off track?
You're right on point.
Excellent. Okay, so that's That's big business. There's a need for it, and there's plenty of players, as you know. So, what stage are you at with it, please?
The very beginning. I've been kind of talking to a few people that I know that are having problems with dating, but kind of peeking it a little bit with them. But that's about it. But my audience,
Okay.
my target audience is for individuals over age 40.
Okay, 40 plus. Right. So, have you as yet, done that exercise of getting all the platforms, and there's a ton of them, and literally reviewing everyone for what its positioning is? In other words, what is special about this one? What's different about this one? How many subscribers has it got? How busy is it? How good is it? But what is different, and what's missing when you have them all together? What And again, this is just one way. I'm sure many of my colleagues here would look at other ways, but this is definitely sensible, is to be looking for where there is an unmet need, where there is an opportunity to provide something that nobody else is. Have you done that exercise as yet?
I have not, but I'm loving this idea.
Yeah. So, and it's, by the way, it's not a big, long, days and days. It's literally, just do a Google search, mobile dating sites, and you'll get, we all know that there's, well, I don't know what we all know. I know there's three or four names, and after that, I'm struggling. But there's probably 20 or 30 big players, and you will be able to spot and list out. Okay, what is each one's speciality? What is each one appealing to? And then what's missing. Now, the other thing I'd advise to go with it is go on YouTube and just search for Tony Robbins TED Talk 6 Human Needs. Now, the reason I'm suggesting this is that Tony Robbins has popularized the 6 human needs, and it's now pretty much been accepted as actual biological and scientific and psychological fact, as an extension of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. These 6 human needs are the psychological needs of the personality, and one of them is love and connection. So, of course, dating sites meets the love and connection need, and just learn a bit about those 6 human needs. Learn a little bit about the love and connection needs, so that you're informed, because then you'll be able to do your market assessments with more knowledge about what people want in a date and what's missing, what's not being catered for. Speak to some of your girlfriends, get ways of speaking to some men, and ask people what's missing for you, and do loads of research and digging until you find that little golden nugget that's missing. When this answer keeps coming up again and again, or when you spot it, verify it. And once it's been verified, and it's, you just know that that's what's missing, then you start on, right, I need to build a product around this, brand around this. So that is my suggestion for your first starting point. Then you've got something truly unique. Otherwise, it's just another dating site. Do you think this makes sense to do?
Absolutely. It
And
absolutely
it does,
makes sense.
as I say,
I'm
doesn't need to be forever. Doesn't need to be for weeks. It's just like, do it maybe a week for everything and all the research, and then you're into stage 2 once you've found that uniqueness. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Hope it helps. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jackie.
That was great, Paul. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else on the panel that would like to contribute? But I think, Paul, you did such an amazing job. I don't think that there is. So, Gwen, do you feel served by the panel?
Yes, ma'am, I have. Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming up and asking your question, Gwen. Is there somebody unmuted?